So hello everyone, this is AetherNightmare and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Time for more MSQ. I've been working on yokai stuff in the background, but I'll probably end up making that more into its own content. I did get the axe for my character though, the rest will take a little bit of grinding off screen still. And hello DJT, we are just getting started. So I think I'm in Lenosha, so I should be able to just walk out these doors and go do the thing I immediately want to do. Here's hoping my troops did a decent job and I can get on with the background grinding. And then we'll move on to MSQ, because I don't think there's any new events. I think it's just the yokai one since it takes forever. I'm sorry, I'm probably going to be drinking a lot of water in this episode because it's hot in here. So if you hear a lot of thunks on the microphone, that's me putting a glass down. It's, heavy. The squadron has returned from their deployment. Pray look over the report, Commander. Okay, the mission was a success. Crystal recovery. Which I think unlocks something else now? Are you keeping an eye on squadron chemistry? It's surprising how much better the recruits perform when teamed up with members that complement or challenge them. Relationships within a squadron can shift like the winds, though, so pray take that into consideration before ordering a deployment. Exhibit preferences. Yeah, I know about preferences. The squadron chemistry can affect the outcome of missions by improving attributes or increasing rewards, and its bonuses will come into play when meeting certain requirements. Requirements vary, but generally involve deploying a squadron composed of certain combinations of classes or races. Chemistry settings are accessed via the regiment board by selecting View Squadron Roster, then using Confirm Chemistry subcommand after choosing a squadron member. Simply exhibiting a chemistry preference provides no bonus. Should you deploy a squadron on their next mission without first setting a character effect, the bonus will disappear with that effect. I don't know if it is true for character race anymore. It used to be at the beginning, character race mattered, just like it did in Final Fantasy XI, but I don't think that's a thing anymore. A close call by all accounts, but the squadron has returned safely from its deployment. Not everyone comes back from a mission like that, and the accolades have been flooding in from our sister companies. You should be proud, Commander. Squad rank 3. Your squadron has attained rank 3. You now have access to higher difficulty priority missions. Completing priority missions earned you special rewards, so be sure to deploy your squadron on these challenging duties. Be aware, however, that a successful completion will lock access to other priority missions until the timer resets. Priority missions status is reset every Tuesday at 4 a.m. Before I forget, there is one other matter at which we must attend. You received a missive from the Maelstrom command regarding your performance, if you'll permit me. Yeah, I wonder if it's based off of Japanese time, because 4 a.m. to me, yeah, is when Genshin resets too. For outstanding efforts in the Adventurer Squadron Initiative, Lieutenant Nightmare is hereby promoted to First Storm Lieutenant, effective immediately. Kind of makes me wonder if I was on a different server or lived in a different area if it would reset at a different time. A letter of promotion. Congratulations, Commander, and very well deserved, I must say. The next event actually starts tomorrow? Oh. Because I thought the yokai thing went on until the next patch. Alright, eager to receive your next orders. Is there anything else I need to do with this, or is it, like, done? So confused. Which one did I do? Oh no, these are something different. That's me going in with the squad. Okay. What are these? These are priority seal allowance. Temporary increase in payment. Which I just get paid in seals, which my seals are full. I don't care. I don't know if there's any more story to this or not. Trainee, routine, and priorities. Yeah, is there anything else I need to do with this? Or am I, like, done with it? Ooh, what's this? Squadron Gear Maintenance Manual. Basic gear maintenance techniques. Wear decrease 30%. I think this is just like ease of mission stuff. Aetherite Pass. Use of realm-wide aetherites at a discounted rate. Oh, so we can get some, like, stuff? Free reduction, 40%, duration 120 minutes. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be too much of a thing. With the amount of dungeons I run, I'm kind of slightly loaded. From Wednesday 15 to Friday, May 31st. Yeah. May 31st. Oh, it's May. Forget that it's May. How is it May? How is it May instead of March? Time. What even is it? Not for the event, for myself. Like, it's blowing my mind that it's almost June. They're doing a lot right now is there's the Yokai Watch event. The Moogle event has started back up. Oh, has it? And the Make It Rain event. Okay. I don't know what the Make It Rain event is. So, next event tomorrow. Good to know. Anything else that's worth getting? Spirit bonding. This is just stuff to make grinding, I think, a little bit easier, but it's not really anything I'm interested in. What about this thing? Okay, so there are hunts that it's possible to do. Is there anything I want in here? I think I talked to you, right? You're the store. Okay, I can get gear, technically, if I wanted something for an aesthetic reason. Level 50. Storm Captain Labyrinth. Some of it looks cool. Just... I think it would depend on class for me. Armor. Not too big on dressing the part. Maybe. 1 second. Forget that this is a thing you can actually go in and try it on. See what you think. Materials. If I need any dark matter for anything. Glacier crystal, nope. Bamboo paper. Okay, that's for decorating. Storm hatchling. I don't think I have one of these. Unable to complete transaction. You cannot carry more than one. Oh, maybe I already have him. Of this untradeable item. Okay, yeah, he's checkmarked. Never mind. Maelstrom. Contemporary warfare, don't care. Material container, awarded to those who have made an outstanding contribution to the realm. Contains a random mount or minion. Introduced in a realm reborn or Heavensward? Insufficient rank. But how do increase rank? You can check the Moogle pad on the collection menu. How to increase rank then? Or can I not do it in a Realm Reborn? Do I have to do it in Heavensward? Or Stormblood? Requires Storm Captain. Let's see. How to become captain, Final Fantasy XIV. Has something to do with your barracks. Do 5 different dungeons with your squadron and you'll get a rank 2 18-hour flagged mission, which will give you the captain rank upon completion. And you obviously have to be first lieutenant already. 5 different dungeons? Make sure there are 5 different dungeons. The same one 5 times does not count. Some dungeons are easier to run than others. Do them slowly. Doing bigger pulls will most likely cause a wipe. Yeah, because NPCs. To just going in as healer if you can choose. Just to keep everybody alive. Yeah, I've tried to run a couple dungeons. It didn't go so well. I finished them, but the NPCs are not smart. So I think maybe command mission dungeons. When do we get squad dungeons? Something different. Looks like this is done. 2, 3. That one's gonna suck. Does it matter? And is this what they mean? 5 different squadron missions. I wonder if these people mean command missions instead of squadron missions. Yeah, they're saying these more like do brave locks, do whatever. Oop, not these. I wonder if then it needs me to do some of these. Ugh. What's next? Should I run a couple just to see if I get it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could potentially get up to Desmail Darkhold and be okay. But I don't know. Thoughts about doing it on stream, or should I do it on my own time? It's up to me. I just don't know if we get anything for it if once we get Storm Captain, so maybe. Like if there's a cutscene for Storm Captain. I don't want to have to edit it in. So we can pseudo-solo a dungeon or two. Do not do big pulls. Your NPCs kinda suck. Case in point, my poor health. What is my healer doing? Oh my gosh, I might have to do single target switching just so I don't die. Oof. Plus side of squad missions. You can choose the pull sizes, and also you can go for treasure without anybody thinking you're weird. Downsize. NPCs. There goes. Oh, the ice elementals are gonna suck. Yeah, also the full map achievement, if you don't have it already. Which I kind of think might be part of the reason why this thing even exists. Have to fight people for the right to let you fully expand the map. Why is Monk just hanging out back here? Get up here! Do I have to spoon feed you the enemies? Note to self, maybe make all recruiting members long range, because they're kind of dumb. I mean, I'm pretty sure I have them set to engage. Because it's the only thing I have them ever set to is engage. Yeah. You barely mess with the system either. Like, unless I need people to run away or execute a limit break. Which even then, this early in the game, limit breaks don't seem to make that much of a difference. Whether somebody pulls one off or not isn't gonna make or break whether we finish a dungeon. At least not in these early ones. Fine. You know, I'm just gonna bring him over here. I'll bring him to you. Thank you oh so much for using your feint spell on a teeny weeny enemy instead of the upcoming boss. Really appreciate it. NPC monk. Come here. Uh-oh. Avis is coming to join the party. Well, yeah, for tank and healer, limit break is different. Which I can see that having a use in later dungeons, but... in these early stages, limit break is more of a DPS thing. And it doesn't make that much of a difference most of the time. Okay, I need to switch to single. Otherwise they will kill me. Hello there, Snoopy Pants. We are doing some solo dungeon grinding at the moment to obtain a better rank in the game, so that we may buy better stuff. Let's get counterattack going if they're gonna wail on me simultaneously. Might as well slap them back. Okay. How the heck do we move the NPCs out of range of this one? Guess we find out. Let's get it closer to the front of the arena. Just to hopefully give them a chance to survive. Come here. Oh god, that hurt more than I thought it would. Don't stand in it. TLDR, I'm babysitting literal NPCs through a dungeon. He's going to run into the... He seems to take reduced damage, which is good. I wonder if they did that on purpose. Okay, I can't execute that yet. Yeah, I wonder if they made field effects hurt your team less. Just because they know it's impossible to avoid. I'm used to everybody having way better gear, too. Item level, it makes a difference. There we go. I probably do not need these chests, but whatevs. Free gear, technically. If you're looking for fashion for any reason, I guess this is a way to run it. Oh my god, they're stuck in the wall! So this boss was different to pre-Endwalker, so you don't think the AIs actually know how to deal with it. No, I doubt they don't. Endwalker patch or otherwise. Oh god, right. These suck. These suck. I forgot that these suck. Ice sprites hurt. Sometimes when I do DPS runs for grinding, we tend to wipe on the ice sprites a lot, because a lot of people don't realize they're so high damage output. And yes, I know there's treasure in that other room, but I don't need it. There's an achievement for collecting armor sets? There is? Vigil robe. I already possess one. Well, I guess I do need better magic gear, because I have like almost no magic gear. I'm going through Black Mage at the moment, and it's like, ah, shit. That's right, none of my old armor is applicable. More fashion you get, the better. It depends. Some of this early game fashion is a bit eh. Especially for mages, no offense. dunce cap and petticoat is not exactly my personal fashion taste. And then there's that one heavy armor set that sort of just looks like the joke armor from like Dark Souls. Just put me in a tin can, why don't you? Alright. Dungeon boss, let's go. Monk, would you like to come join me? Yes, your devotion is great. Now get your ass over here. I probably should have waited to use that, but maybe not. It's going down too slow. I mean, some of the armor has good fashion. It's just that there's a lot in the early mage sets that are not pretty. Later on you get some that I've seen. There's a particular set I want to farm. I like it very much, but yeah, I can show you some of it later. It's just not my fave. I think because at the early bits of the game, they were going less for like a mage look and more for like a I just graduated college in medieval times look. Which kind of leads me to looking like I'm wearing very outdated grandma pajamas most of the time. Kinda wish my monk hadn't used feint. Because after this round I would have had him use it and then execute the limit break. Where did my commands go? They moved them. My command bar has disappeared. Super. I guess we are not executing the limit break. Okay. What'd you do with it? Where'd it go? I doubt it would be in here. I really have to go all the way into my HUD layout. Yeah, thanks. Where did it go? How do I add something? Copy a base setting to a new slot. Okay, this is just jargon to me. I don't know what I'm looking at. Okay, that's for your rows. I get that. Maybe they'll just magically come back in the next dungeon. Also, a lot of armor isn't unisex yet, so yeah. Like Dragoon. Dragoon armor just has, like, a gaping hole in it. Looks like I got impaled. Alright, so one more to go. Mission complete. Alright, Desmil Darkhold is next. And then it should be a rank up. Oh wait, shit, I was gonna show off Black Mage and then I... Attention span. What is it? Who has one? Can I borrow it? Spare attention span, sirs. Spare attention span for sale. Yeah, Ninja did that too. Where the male armor was a really good shinobi set, and then you sort of look like a cross between a barmaid and a wet towel. It's not that I'm against sexy armor sets either, it's just that they kind of Regina Georged the whole thing because it was clearly a last-minute decision. For those of you who haven't seen Mean Girls, there's a scene where they take her gym shirt. She's wearing a bra underneath, so you don't see anything, but they basically cut out 2 spots at the front of it with scissors, so she just has her bra sticking out of her shirt, and that's what a lot of the female sets remind me of in this. Like, it's not a good design, it's just taking scissors to the male sets and clipping out booby holes. There's a difference. There's a difference between cute female armor sets and whatever this Regina George style is. Got through. Let's get the light before he flashbangs us up. Too late. If my team would like to follow me to the designated location, that would be fantastic. Yeah, it didn't give me my thing back. Oh, I'm probably gonna have to stand in this by myself. Can it activate with one person? Is it gonna take forever? Okay, it can. Probably for when you solo a dungeon, but... Would any of the NPCs like to maybe snuggle with me so we can open the door faster? God damn it. here. Come here. It's supposed to get closer to me, but I think the ninja's in the way. Monk, move! Oh my god. Why is it not following me? Hello? Where the hell did I put provoke? There we go. Gotta get it in the light to do damage. Sorry, White Mage. You're gonna take the brunt of this fight. Oh god. Ah, shit. Crystal wore out. By the way, I don't think I ever mentioned this before, but this is actually a Crystal Chronicles dungeon. That and the one covered in all the fungus. They're both Crystal Chronicles dungeons. This was a mechanic from that game too. You had to stay close to the crystals or either get through it really, really fast. Because the darkness blocked the light of your chalice. You know, that thing that keeps you from dying to the miasma? It goes away. Okay, go for the Nyx first, because I think it deals debuff to you. These frogs are actually a surprising amount of trouble, if not dealt with quickly. But yeah, Dismal Darkhold is where the Parasite Meteor is in Crystal Chronicles. So this is one of those dungeons that has a basis for something. But yeah, any idea how to get my command menu back? Is Black Mage my last DPS class? I still have Summoner. Which, when I first tried out this game, I started out as a Summoner, so I did know a little bit about Final Fantasy XIV coming into it, although everything now is new. But, I am actually going to go a different route this time for Summoner. I'm going to start with Scholar. Because when I tried out Scholar for a little bit during my free trial, I had no idea what I was doing because it was so different from Arcanist. How about Samurai? Yeah, but that's going to be in another patch. This game has patches, a lot like Genshin does. And I am in the first patch. Oh, technically the first patch, first expansion. So I'm still technically at the beginning of the game. And I'll do Samurai when it came out in later expansions. How many patches are there? Let me think off the top of my head. We're in A Realm Reborn, which is the first-ish one. It's technically the second, but you will start here because the original 1.0 is dead. Nobody can play it anymore. So this is the new 1.0. So A Realm Reborn, Heaven's Word, Stormblood, what was the other one? There's another S. Shit. There's another S. Shadowbringers, Endwalker, and then Dawn Trail is coming out in July. Why can't anyone play the first one? Because the servers are offline for it. Square Enix shut the game down. Most people didn't like that one, and it also required, like, insane internet to run at the time. Ironically, most people could probably play it just fine now, but 10 years ago when it came out, it was too much for most people. And there were just a lot of other issues with the game in general, so lore-wise, they tied it in to this game, so like I said, you can start here. They destroyed the world at the end of 1.0 and sort of rebirthed it, if you will, hence the name A Realm Reborn. And part of the lore is that everybody knows the calamity happened, but they lost, like, their memories of the heroes and whatnot. There was a whole memory wipe thing, so technically you're starting from scratch. Big part of it was they made the game so dang pretty that it was impossible for it to run for most people. Game was PS4 levels of pretty when everybody still had, like, dial-up internet connections. I know for a fact I had DSL internet at the time, so, like, I could not run 1.0. College internet says no. I had a really decent computer at the time, too. I had an Asus gaming laptop. And even that would not have been able to run Final Fantasy XIV 1.0. For the record, that would be, timeline-wise, the equivalent of the PC I'm running today. Like an i7 with a 3080 graphics card. Which is a beefy as a AF PC, but, imagine having that and you still can't run the game. Or going to the store, like, right now, for example, and getting, like, an i9 and something like a, what is it, the 4060s are the average budget ones? Imagine going to the store, getting one of those for, like, several $1,000s, and, like, it still can't run Final Fantasy XIV 1.0. Yeah, beauty is pain. Mm-hmm. So the game was extraordinarily pretty, and character models were extremely on point. Environments were on point, but it was so above its time and technology that, like, nothing could run it. Oops. And same goes for internet. I think Japan forgets that the rest of the world has really crap internet. It is the year 2024, and I still have a goddamn 10 megabyte upload speed. My videos take forever to upload onto the internet. Yep, still have 10 megabyte upload speed in our Lord and Savior year 2024. Meaning, ironically, even with this PC, I might not be able to run Final Fantasy 1.0. Oops. My PC could handle it, my internet probably couldn't. That's why sometimes, too, even playing this game, the servers are good today. It's not happening today. Although, you have seen it happen in other videos where I'm, like, very clearly clicking on things and, like, nothing's happening. Or the action is very, very delayed by, like, 1 or 2 seconds. That happens in Genshin sometimes, too. Where I'm very clearly attempting to do something. Having my teammates over here would help immensely for the corrupted crystals. And, like, my character's not executing the move. That's because of my internet. When a game runs off of an internet server like that, sometimes bad things happen. And there's nothing you can do about it. That's just not me blaming the game, like, oh, I can't get good, so let's blame the game. No, my internet really does just suck ass. Because I live in the boonies. So I gotta do my best with what I got. I can put all the work I want to into making a great single-player experience. There's nothing I can do to fix the internet, though. Better internet is not provided. Not unless I was to splurge into fiber optics. Anybody want to take a guess on how much fiber optics costs a month in my area? You're gonna puke when you hear it. In what type of internet in the entire world could run Final Fantasy XIV 1.0 smoothly? People right downtown in, like, Tokyo with, like, good internet, and that's about it. The game was universally panned when it came out, entirely for that reason, because nobody could play it efficiently. It was a whole thing. The history of Final Fantasy 1.0 is a grim beast. 10,000 pounds a month? Okay, that's a little high. Just a bit. Or euros, whatever. Euros, pounds. Actually, one second. Let me see for like a year what it would be. Let me do the math. I want to just look at conversion really quick. Not for that. That's obviously a really highballed number. Yeah, pounds. Let me just translate it. Okay. For realsies, fiber optic internet, which is why I don't get it. I could technically get it in my area now, but it's considered like super duper premium internet. They'd have to like come out and rewire your house on top of that. So ironically, you said 10,000 pounds, but for them to rewire the facilities out here, it might actually end up being something like that, unironically, DJT. But for a month, just to have it, even if I had the cables already in my house, which I don't, but if I did, hypothetically, it would cost me $300 a month just to have internet if I had fiber optic internet here. So, in pounds, that is 238 pounds a month. Just a month. Yeah, not my tax bracket. So for a year, that would be $3,600. Or to put that in pounds sterling, $28.59. 2,859 pounds a year. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so that is why we have crap internet. Actually, no, I think I did my math right. No, I did my math right, yeah. And that is why we have crap internet. There we go. Yeah, 1.0 is also the Crystal engine, which is the same one they used for 13. And it's a very pretty engine, don't get me wrong. Crystal engine is gorgeous. Crystal engine they've also done interviews about, and it was very, very difficult to work with. That's even why later 13 games don't use the Crystal engine. It was just an absolute pain in the ass to program for. Don't get me wrong, it's got some bobbin' results in the graphics department, but the whole team, like, notoriously hated it. Which is why they no longer use it either. That's another reason why some of their other games got scrapped. Not just from poor reception of Final Fantasy XIII, but the whole team was like, we can't use this engine. Yeah, the PlayStation 3 itself was horrible to work with. It was practically, we have a better idea of how it works now, especially with emulation and stuff, but at the time, especially since Sony was really under lock and key about keeping it under wraps about how the PS3 worked. It wasn't just that the technology was weird, it was also that Sony specifically kept a lot of details about it vague, even from developers. So to everyone even trying to make games for the console, they didn't know how to fully program for it because Sony was so tight-lipped about their old black box system. We don't want Xbox copying us. And as a result, it just made an absolute goddamn mess for developers. Especially if you had an engine that wasn't just right out of the box, like the Crystal engine. It'd be one thing if you were developing in, like, Unreal, for example, but oof. Yeah, it made life hell for a lot of developers at the time. Nowadays, it's not so vague anymore because people have cracked it and we got a better handle on how it works, but at the time, developers themselves weren't even allowed to know, like, oh, hey, we want you to program a game for our console, but we won't tell you how the console works. Well, then I guess you're not getting a whole lot of games, are you, Sony? Gee, it's almost like they're making similar decisions today. Oh wait, I need to go back to my barracks and see if they gave me my prize. Boy, attention span. Hello. Thankfully they stopped doing that to such a degree, but oof. Mission complete, there we go. Ooh, okay, he has the little yellow symbol, so I think we did it. Commander, the Maelstrom higher-ups have been sent a new mission our way. I've read the briefing and it's a tough one, but we can pull it off. Let's just say I think it'll be for a commendation. By successfully completing command missions at 5 different locations, you have gained access to a special flagged mission. Oh no. Due to the exceedingly high difficulty of the mission, however, it is advised that you first improve your squadron members' individual attributes as much as possible before attempting deployment. Which is it? What's the flagged one? It's not Wanderer's Palace, is it? Or is it like a flagged squad? Oh, here we go. It's in here. It's one I don't have to run myself. It's one I can send them out to do, NPC style. Okay, so we need to raise strength. I need to raise strength, but I fear raising strength might lower these too much because they're both like only a couple digits off. I'll give it a shot. If I need to like reset it the next following day, I can. So training courses. Wait. None of these are lowering my other attributes. Oh, maybe I had... Oh, I think maybe my squadron attribute allowance went up. Okay. Okay, cool. Good to know. Daily training sessions remaining. I'm gonna put it into physical then. Alright. We're off to MSQ! That's why, too, for the longest time, stuff wasn't being ported back and forth, or even if it did. For example, Bayonetta, which I originally played on the PS3. It was a god-awful port. Great game, god-awful port. Screen tearing, bad frame rate. They eventually patched the loading times, but... Ugh, it's not good. And vice versa, if they programmed the game for the PS3 at the time, it would be almost impossible to program it for, like, anything else without dedicating a ton of time and resources to adapt the engine to something else. So a lot of people were like, okay, if we put it onto Sony, it's probably gonna stay Sony, because we don't want to code it for anything else. At least the beginning of the console's lifespan. Okay, where is further out? I bet it's over by the White Mage Guild. That's where I'm going. Don't get me wrong, this isn't like a console war thing. I like all consoles. And I have a PS4 sitting right next to me. You can hear me tapping it. But, yeah, sometimes companies make bad decisions. And that's all there is to it. Do you know Switch has made more money than all of the past Nintendo products? Hey, market appeal has good reason. And also people had the whole pandemic thing. That's another thing with like really high game sales. People have to remember these past couple years. Pandemic was a thing. And people got trapped in their houses with their own children. Not that it's a bad thing either. Switch is also right here. Switch.
You are returned to us, dear friend, and none the worse for bearing the heavy burden which I did press upon you. Most glad am I of this.
Wait, you mean making a console with mass market appeal and it has games for everyone on it means it's gonna sell a whole lot of systems? Wow, novel concept.
I am informed that your efforts to negotiate a peace with Lord Ramuh ended in conflict. Pray tell me, what befell? Ramuh made trial of you? I fear there is truth to his claim. It is the darkness within us that attracts the darkness without. It cannot be denied that misfortune follows man. For evidence, one need only look to the conflict brewing in Cartano, or to the rising flood of refugees. Our shared struggle against the Empire should have served to seal our union. Yet the ties which bind the Alliance strain under the weight of gross self-interest. As the scars of the calamity begin to fade, so too does our sense of common purpose. Yet now is scarce the time to forget our shared responsibility. If this new-sprung realm is to survive beyond its infancy, it must needs be nurtured by all. Eorzea must be as one. Yet I fear that dream is still far off. On behalf of the people of Gridania and the Elementals both, I thank you for all that you and your fellow Scions have done. Full oft have I been compelled to look to you for aid of late, and offered all too little in return. As leader of this nation, I shall endeavor to prove a more worthy ally to your cause henceforth.
Yeah, because if you don't, the fairies and the sylphs are gonna be very, very angry with you.
Lord Ramuh has departed, yet the keening of this ill wind grows no less insistent.
Well, just because I defeated him doesn't mean he can't come back. Deal with the core of the problem.
Voices of the forest, pray speak and I shall listen. What unseen evil begets this unease in my heart?
Yeah, 1 second. I was gonna do a thing. Yeah, there we go. Mage outfit. It's, I mean, this isn't the worst outfit that I've been forced to wear, but it's not quite as fashionable, you know? Same with some of these other ones. What are they, like this pink variant? Very accolade looking. Gray. Just sort of generic with a hood. These aren't the worst ones. Eventually it's the hats that sometimes get me, though. I don't think I have a dunce cap in my inventory, but like this hat. What is this? Hang on. What is that? What is that? I look like I'm wearing a bicycle helmet. Come on. Yes. Mm-hmm. Very much in-game fashion indeed. Mask. I look like a weird bird. It doesn't really fit my face. I think I have a monocle now. Okay, the monocle's not too bad. This is what I had on. Not bad. It's just, like I said, I'm still very much in the medieval college attires portion of the game. There is one too. I don't think I have it. I think I skipped over it somehow, but there's like a... It genuinely looks like a dunce cap. Like just the pointy dunce cap, right dunce on it, and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. But eventually I'll get some better outfits for mage. It's just that very early on, it has that I've recently graduated from magic school look to it. As opposed to, you know, where's my rare? Actual armor sets. The Switch also has the most exclusive games. I'm not really sure. I haven't compared them side by side. You should have seen Maxia when we got back to Little Solstice. Grateful is an understatement. I thought he was going to shake Papa Limo's hand off. To be fair, a lot of Nintendo's first parties are also made by Nintendo. It also has a lot of shovelware, though. Same with the Wii. I fancy my presence was more help than hindrance during our troubles with Leviathan, but this time around, well, I even have my off days. And you know, the portability does make a difference. 'Twould seem that Ida's appraisal of the situation held some merit after all. Mayhap I should not be so swift to discount her intuition. Thus ends another daunting mission, eh, Bryn? I'd hoped Lord Ramu could be persuaded with words alone, but nonetheless, I can only admire the adoredness at which you responded to the Primal's sudden challenge. And it seems that Urianger too was pleased with the outcome. What say you then? Shall we gather back at the Rising Stones and ponder the lessons of the day? Because there is one mage outfit I do intend to get, and it's in a Realm Reborn. But I need to take time to both reach a high enough level to wear it, and also farm the pieces of it. My axe is making progress. I have knocked out a few more books, it's just that there's so many. So as you can see, I finished the dungeons for this one. I've been working on some fates. Enemies is what's left. I can check on that since it's right here. This person's here doing the same thing for Paladin. I recognize the shield. Yeah, there we go. 2 of 2. I'm done with the Books of Wind. I'm done with the Books of Earth. And I'll probably finish this Book of Fire probably tonight. So that would leave 3 more books to go. And since the yokai event is going on too, I've been able to get it done much faster. On the days I've been able to play, when, you know, the servers aren't getting DDoSed. Because that was a thing last week. I have the Thermiturge video done. It's just waiting to be released. It happens right in the middle of it. I left part of it in just to make a point. Welcome back. Word of your momentous encounter with Lord Ramu precedes you. I would fain share news of my own, but Urianger's discoveries must take precedence. Upon witnessing your defeat of the Lord of Levin, our learned companion was struck with a profound insight regarding the nature of the Ascian's immortality. Let us assemble and discuss his observations together. Yeah, the internet too is another reason why I never do like Genshin and Honkai patches day of. And that's because the congested servers mixed with my bad internet means that controls are very off on those days.
Everyone is ready. Let us begin.
Like, I'll go to execute a command and it'll literally take me my sword like 2 seconds to swing. Ooh. Not good in an action game.
The floor is yours.
I think he has some new missions for us too, back at the old hideout.
All here assembled now know, in its final hours as our order's headquarters, the waking sands did play host to a most unexpected visitor. I speak of the Ascian clad in white, Elidibus. Unwelcome though his presence was, his words that day did serve to confirm a truth long suspected, that the Ascians are eternal beings, to whom physical destruction is as a temporary inconvenience.
In the intervening time, Urianger and I have striven to discover a means by which the Ascians might more permanently be slain.
What do you mean? We watched the one dude get eaten. If they get turned into Aether, and Primals eat Aether, Primals can eat Ascians. Can't they?
And 'tis my belief that we have found the thread that will allow us to unravel the twisted skein of their existence. In the moments prior to Leviathan's most recent manifestation, the Sahagin elder who summoned him was observed to undergo some manner of ascension.
You mean prior to being eaten?
The etheric readings taken by Y'shtola at the time of this transfiguration have proven most enlightening.
The disruption to the flow of ether was sudden and dramatic. So tangible was the agitation, I scarce had need of my goggles.
The significance of Y'shtola's readings might better be understood in the context of mine own. taken at the instant of the Lord of Levin's demise. Unlike the Primal, the Sahagin was not subject to etheric dissipation.
Before discussing our new discoveries, it may benefit us all to recall what we know of etheric behavior. Let us begin at what some might call the end. When we who dwell in the material realm die, our spirits dissolve into the flow of ether and are returned to the ethereal realm. In turn, the restless energy which suffuses that plane streams back into our world, giving rise to new life.
Basically, it's like the life stream in many other Final Fantasy games.
'Tis as the heavens did decree, the way of all mortal souls. Twixt this world and the next do the ethereal currents swirl, bearing the very essence of life. Thus doth the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth continue unabated.
But is it the same souls, or is it just like a snippet of ether? Because that's like a very big distinction.
Primals behave somewhat differently. In order to manifest and then maintain a physical presence in this realm, they must consume vast quantities of ether, most often in the form of crystals. Though they may seem to live, their flesh is but ether given shape. Thus, a defeated primal leaves behind no broken corpse. Rather, the essence of its form seeps back into the land whence it came, and the energy of its shattered spirit is called back to the ethereal realm.
And there it waiteth, till next the prayers of the faithful do draw it forth from the sea of ether, to take their offering of crystals and make for itself a new body.
Although that leaves me with the questions of the crystals. There's a difference between just crystals that are condensed ether and like core crystals. So I'm guessing like Hydaelyn, for example, is probably a core crystal in the Final Fantasy universe. Typically, the amount of crystals in most Final Fantasy games that aren't core crystals have like a set amount, so it kind of makes you question where they come from. Here they seem to stem out of the center of the earth, which makes me wonder if it's important. And sometimes the core crystal itself designates a person to create more crystals, so I don't know how this is going to come to play in future games.
Which brings us on to the third group, the so-called Immortals. They exist in a manner all their own.
Quite. Even as the Sahagin Elder fell to the Admiral's musket shot, I witnessed the release of an ethereal cloud, which immediately took possession of a nearby minion.
A soul that dissipateth not upon the death of the flesh.
The secret of life everlasting, and in the claws of a Sahagin no less. But I wonder, what would happen to one of these obstinate spirits, should there be no suitable host for it to claim?
If mortal death entails a return to the ethereal realm, it seems doubtful that the soul of an immortal would venture there.
Nay, it merely withdraweth a distance, unto the shore of the ethereal sea, perchance, but no further.
Yes, it exists in neither this realm nor the next, abiding instead in the space that lies between them. The Scions took control of Thancred by means of a crystal of darkness, an artifact which, if our theories are correct, serves as a gateway to the place I have just described.
I was hoping people had forgotten about that.
I am sorry, my friend.
Dude, don't take it personal.
For a mercy, the weary road of our research hath brought us unto an answer.
The Sahagin ascended to an immortal state, but he did not possess a crystal of darkness through which to flee this realm. Thus was he consumed by Leviathan.
Yeah, that's true. They are kind of like Kingdom Hearts nobodies.
If If we could entrap the spirits of defeated Ascians in like manner, and thereby deny them resurrection...
Putting the genie back in a bottle. If you can't reach the other realm, you're just gonna stay where we keep you.
Therein lieth the path to victory. Thou art most perceptive, my lady. Only when we have trapped the bodiless soul within an ethereal prison can we hope to defeat its unnatural constancy. Thus might even an eternal paragon be consigned to oblivion.
This is kind of ironic, having just done this in the Thaumaturgy quest.
These feats are, of course, far easier said than done. At present, we lack a viable means to entrap and extinguish an Ascian soul. Yet, I believe it to be possible. The pieces of the puzzle lie before us. We have but to put them together.
I will depart at once to convene with the sages of Sharlayan. Together shall we divine the steps by which our goals may be achieved.
I have the utmost faith in you, Archon.
Yeah, we did see hints too that there might be a big core crystal. I couldn't tell if that was Hydaelyn getting corrupted.
Beg pardon, antecedent, but I would raise one final matter. Even now, a Sharlayan survey party seeketh to ascertain the fate of the students of Baldessian.
Sorry, what I was saying is, there was that one scene where we saw Hydaelyn's core crystal, like, turn red. And there's a part of me that questions, like, was that a different core crystal and not ours? Or was it ours getting corrupted?
Their findings shall soon be known to us. Though you harbor feelings of dread, I bid you, surrender not to sorrow.
Oh, purple,
but
excuse
abide
me.
Instead, in hopeful prayer.
Yeah, sorry, red's corrupted, purple is darkness. Brain fart. But because it's purple, especially, like, that means a dark crystal, just a crystal of the dark realm, the mirror realm, basically. And in other Final Fantasy games, the dark crystal does have a core, just like ours does. So, different crystal, maybe? Eh?
I shall, Archon. Thank you.
Oh my god, they even have the chairs! The Kingdom Hearts chairs. The Lord of Levin is returned to Aether, as was Leviathan before him. Ramuh's acquiescence was most intriguing. Inferno, Vortex, Crag, Whirl, and Levin all have now been humbled by the Bringer of Light. The limitless potential of man, Hydaelyn's servant, grows mightier by the day. Is there 13? I didn't get a chance to count them. Yet they prosper at great cost to their mistress, whose strength is all too finite. 7 times have the masses survived the rejoining, but their souls are grown weak and wan. Or wan. Wan. Yet even as it enervates, the arbor empowers our master. All that remains is to nurture the strength of the gifted, to forge the final key. And they're talking about the final key, the chi blade. I call it chi because I know it's key, but people can't understand me if I don't have subtitles, so I say chi. And that is the task to which we bend our every effort. Kingdom Hearts crossover event win. Divine seeds were ever wont to quicken in Eorzea's fertile soil. We need only lead man to the field, and by their eager hand shall a new deity arise. That which was shattered shall be made anew, and the one true God shall come again. The joke does write itself. Although, to be fair, it might be on purpose. You guys, don't keep that dark core crystal of yours on the moon, do ya? Guardian of Eorzea. Because Kingdom Hearts has the Heart Moon. Now the matter of Ramuh has, for the present, been put to rest. There's something I would show to you. One of the dark core crystals, too, in the Crystal Chronicles series, was kept on the moon. It's a letter of thanks, signed by the leaders of the Eorzean Alliance, acknowledging the Scions' tireless service to the realm. It mentions in particular the names of all the defeated primals. Ifrit, Titan, Garuda, Good King Mughal 12, may his fur ever be perfectly fluffy, Leviathan, and now Ramuh. Needless to say, there is only one among our number to have faced them all. And though the words of gratitude were addressed to our order as a whole, I feel they were meant for you above all others. I too must offer my heartfelt thanks for all that you have done. In the course of your duties, you have never once failed to answer my call to arms. Oh, shit! 1 second. Phone. Give me a minute. Okay, sorry about that. I'm back. That was actually our local police department. They sent out basically an Amber Alert for missing old person. Be on alert for missing old dude. Sorry about that. You're a true hero, Bren, and Eorzea is much the safer for your presence. Pray do not misunderstand me. I said safer, not safe. I know only too well that we can ill afford to lower our guard. The Ascians may be relied upon to sow chaos in this realm until such a time as they are forced to stop. Why, even without their encouragement, you may be assured that man would foremost strive on his own, and that is to say nothing of the beast tribes. Unless we learn to live in harmony, the primals too will return to plague us again and again and again. And yet, despite all of this, your deeds serve to inspire the people, to give them hope for a better tomorrow, and there is no greater gift. That we have the courage to strive for what might otherwise seem an impossible peace. We owe in no small part to the dangers you have faced on our behalf, and the people you have won over to our cause in doing. Our list of enemies has been long, but think of the allies with whom we are now blessed. Of the beastmen who wish not of conflict, and now call you friend. Of Alice, who strives to unearth the terrible secrets of the calamity, whose quest I've yet to do. And then there is Cid and the Fellowship of Noah, racing to unlock the mysteries of ancient Allag that we might be spared the horror of another Ultima weapon. Of course, when speaking of our greatest allies, we must not forget those closest by us, which I mean our fellow Scions. Thanks to their many and varied talents, our order is uniquely equipped to combat the far-reaching corruption of the Ascians, and combat it we shall. Your enthusiasm is truly heartwarming, a sea descent. Give our embarrassing wealth of allies, I trust it will not inconvenience you to unduly if I absent myself for a time. I don't know who's speaking. Oh, it's you. I can recognize voices, you know. You can tell me who is speaking. Alfino, I take it the troubles in Ul'dah no longer require your attention? There are yet some rumblings of discontent, but the air of simmering violence is largely dissipating. 'Tis to report such that I stand before you now. That, and to speak with you concerning of the new organization we discussed. I have a message from you from Ella. You recall the refugee girl? The one whose parents were missing? They were found unharmed. She wishes me to pass on her thanks to you. Oh yeah, when I was chasing down the guy and he ended up getting shot. Why, Alphino, am I to understand that you made the effort to remember the poor girl's name? I look forward to reading all about her in your report. I do hope you left nothing out. She's teasing him as if she's surprised that he talked to a girl at his age, but at the same time it comes off a tad weird, like maybe Alphino, did he in 1.0 not talk to people? Or not remember names? Like, oh, I am too haughty to remember people's names. Ren, you have been away from the Revenant's Toll for some time now. No, I have not. Might I suggest that you put the affairs of the realm to one side for the moment and take this opportunity to reacquaint yourself with the town? Which reminds me, one of the Doman children recently inquired as to your whereabouts. Yozan was his name. I believe he has some small matter he wishes to share with you. Why not oblige him with a visit? I feel like this is the game's way of telling me get your side quest shit done. He wasn't in 1.0? Oh. I don't know then. Maybe it got translated funny. After we parted in Ul'dah, I paid a visit to the refugees. Though a fundamental solution remains far off, I believe that at the very least there should be no armed uprisings in the near future. Am I given to understand your resolve to the matter of Ramu? I will ask Minfilia for a full report when we next speak. You have done well. Yeah, Final Fantasy XIV also does have moon stuff. I was gonna say that before the phone rang. And that there is some light and dark betwixt stuff with Final Fantasy XIV as well. I realize that you must be quite tired from your travels, but I would most appreciate if you could find a moment to speak to young Yozan. He has been through much in his own right, I am sure. There we go. He's in the first cutscene arriving with me, but I didn't know that he wasn't in 1.0. Just because I get to see him at the beginning doesn't mean he wasn't somewhere else. I do not know where we would be without Higiri. The girl has worked tirelessly for us every day since her arrival. Do you suppose all Doman women are so diligent? I told Flahamin all about your adventures in the Sylphlands. Fake Thancred and all. You won't tell the real Thancred, will you? Oops. You're taking a rest too? Promise you'll play with us again soon. That game of hide and seek at Vesper Bay was one of the most fun I've had in forever. Oh wait, you're the Doman kids, aren't you? Can I talk to Allah? Thank you! Don't make me get the mouse! Look, it's Bren. They're back from their adventure. We heard you were off fighting primals, and that they're some of the strongest enemies you could ever face. I wish I could have seen you in battle. Anyway, we all want to be heroes too. So we finally formed our very own Doman Adventurers Guild to protect all of the Domans. Oh, do you think you could train for us today? Maybe you could show us how you fought the primals. What's all this commotion then? Mr. Boulder and Mr. Coltonet, did you know that Bren is back? Well, I mean, I'm sure they can see me. So it would seem. Welcome home. My companion and I but recently became full members of the Scions, and I believe proper introductions have yet to be made. I hope I'm going to pronounce this right, I'm sorry. I am known as Hoary Boulder, and this bookish fellow is Coltonet. Though we remain largely unproven as adventurers, we've taken it upon ourselves to instruct the Doman younglings in the art of combat. I told you, Mr. Boulder, we're not younglings anymore, we're adventurers, the kindergartens. And we're just asking Bren if they could give us some special training. I think we're ready to hunt monsters alongside them, don't you think? Well, you've certainly been diligent with your drills, but I'm afraid the fiends of Mordona are still ever so slightly too dangerous for you. I have a counter-proposal. What if I were to cross swords with Bren? A demonstration of skills at arms, if you will. Hori, if I didn't know you any better, and I do, I'd say you were merely seeking to test yourself against a legend. Well, maybe perhaps I am. But what matters is the motive when the children stand to learn so much from the lesson. What say you? Would you consent to spar with me? Huzzah! We're gonna have a tournament! Come on, everyone! We must prepare our gear for an outing! Do try to not disappoint them, Have faith, Caldinet. I shall summon every last ounce of my strength to make this a worthy contest. The fiends to the east of town should prove suitable for our purpose. I very much look forward to our bout. I dare say I heard you talking a mile away. Yida and Thancred dashed out not moments ago. Will they ever start acting their age? Oh, I guess Thancred does know about fake Thancred now. Just as some children possess wisdom beyond their years, some adults are a little more than children writ large. Ain't that the truth? Remember this, and it should save you a measure of frustration in your dealings with those around you. Okay, where are we going? This way. Yeah, 4 head moon stuff, 5 head space stuff. 9 had some technically space stuff too, but it is also largely implied that a certain aspect of 9 that I can't say without major spoilers is connected to Crystal Chronicles, so I mean, it is made by the same person, so surprise. 'Twas good for you to agree to this. I trust you're ready to begin. I also need to finish 9 in my own time. I've yet to finish 9. It's just when things share names and also have a large amount of coincidences between them, it's not a huge stretch to say, oh, these two might be linked. Very well, let's not keep the younglings waiting any longer. Hooray, are you certain you wish to fight them alone? This is Renuface. What better way to test my mettle? Pray allow me to attempt the first round unaided. After all, 'twas the hero's legend that led me to join the Scions to begin with. Without Bren to inspire my efforts, I would not be half the warrior I am today. Your point is well made, but remember, this is for the children's sake as well as your own. Should it appear the contest will end too swiftly, I shall add my spells to your blade work. And thus Red Mage was accidentally born. Hello, you haven't begun yet, have you? Yida, what? Who are all these people? Technically there's only 2 of them. When I heard about your sparring match, I told everyone I could find. Thought you could use a crowd to cheer you on. Oh, who else is behind them then? Yes, and there are still more to come. When I mentioned Bren's name, the reaction was quite enthusiastic. Why, my own property seems a little sickly shade in comparison. My own popularity seems but a sickly shade in comparison. You'd best claim victory, Bringer of Light. Your burgeoning reputation is at stake. I didn't agree to this. Well, our teacher won't be beaten so easily. He's a master swordsman. You can win, Mr. Boulder. We shall soon see. On your guard. Yeah, 13's a little nebulous with the space stuff, seeing as the Dyson Sphere, I think, isn't in space. It's sort of just spended up in the atmosphere. Such power, the tails barely do you justice. Mr. Boulder won't lose, will he? I took him out in like 2 swings. It's not over yet. It can't be. The children have the right of it. 'Tis time I join the fray. On your feet, Hori. Okay, you. for the healers. And it gives me the Final Fantasy II music. I find it kind of funny that they use it for silly moments in this game. When Final Fantasy II is such a dark game. I must admit defeat. I'm gonna go lay in the dirt now. Oh no, he looks hurt! Brand's so strong, but you can't give up, Master Boulder. Can't disappoint the younglings. Never have I faced such strength, but the lesson must continue. 'Tis your example I follow. Surrender not to the impeccable foe. Okay, he's immune. And he's no longer immune. Sorry, dude. I've been grinding a lot of fates, my dude. And thank you for the follow, June Rain. We're just going through the MSQ of Final Fantasy XIV for the first time. So it's a blind playthrough. I don't know what I'm doing. You have bested me. I yield. Though I do have knowledge on other Final Fantasy games, so you might see a lot of other Final Fantasy discussions in between. That was incredible! They beat them both at the same time! I'm a Genshin player? Yes, I am. And first time playing Final Fantasy XIV? Also correct. We knew you couldn't lose. None can defeat the Guardian of Eorzea. Now I see why they sent you to deal with the primals. I've much work to do if I'm ever to attempt the same. Now to help the poor guys up. Impressive as always, 'tis ever a pleasure to witness the spectacle of your martial prowess. And judging by the smiles on the many faces, they too appreciate the hard-won strengths that keep the perils of the realm at bay. Guardian of Eorzea. Yes, that is a most fitting title. Do you recall when we first met? 'Twas at the memorial service for the Battle of Cartano. Technically it was on the ship. At the time, I was yet attempting to understand the land of Eorzea. I sought to grasp the reason why Grandfather willingly sacrificed himself to protect it. I shall speak plainly. My initial impressions were less than favorable. Dire problems abounded, and yet the effort I saw expanded towards their solution was haphazard and half-hearted. I thought Eorzeans a foolish and childish people. Wait. Are you not from Eorzea? Considering the shambles their home was in, I would not have been surprised if someone had chosen to swear allegiance to Gaius in the order he proposed to enforce. The Legatus' single-minded military invasion precluded any such switching of loyalties, of course. Were it not for a desire to continue Grandfather's legacy, I would have abandoned the realm to its fate long ago. The threats were too many, the nations too self-involved and unstable. Like, I know he was on the ship with me, but I don't really know where he came from. 'Twas you who convinced me of the salvation of Eorzea was possible. 'Twas you who taught me, through countless acts of bravery, that what my grandsire sought to preserve was not the land, nor its history, nor any single nation. It was the people, these wonderful, oft infuriating, stubborn people that suffer blow after terrible blow, only to drag themselves back to their feet to face another day. Though we never put such feelings into words, I believe Grandfather's admiration for this inextinguishable courage grew into a fervent wish, a wish to aid Eorzea and its inhabitants in charting a course for the future. And a sister from Charlian. Okay, I'll have to learn what Charlian is. A wish that has now become my own. I too will endeavor to take up the mantle of Guardian of Eorzea and champion these people who toil towards a better world. Our cause, however, is not a simple one. The trouble that plagues us are of a scale that cannot be solved by the Scions of the Seventh Dawn alone. Because I've heard Charlian be mentioned a couple times, but I don't know what it is. No, What is needed to tackle the root of the primal threat and effectively counter the schemes of the Scions is a new, expanded organization that operates beyond the limitations of nations and borders. If you would aid me in building such an organization, then pray let us continue this discussion back within the walls of the Rising Stones. Alright, back to town. Which is just off to the left. But yeah, I do variety streaming, so I stream quite a few games, actually. We just finished Bugsnax about a week ago. Routinely do Final Fantasy XIV, Genshin Impact, and Honkai Star Rail are my mains at the moment, but I do occasionally sprinkle in other games as well. Primarily RPGs, because I really like RPGs. But occasionally a few other things as well. Thank you for coming. The world shifts and alters, and we, my friend, must ever be one step ahead of the chaos. What I propose is the formation of a new organization, a group that shall pave the way for a truly united Eorzea. I probably don't really need these, but I could just sell them. Pray forgive me if I tread over old ground, but I would first speak to the grand plan. Since the advent of the 7th Astral Era, the leaders of the three nations have been deliberating over an accord that seeks to bring the dissipate forces of Eorzea together into a single entity. One united country instead of three. 3.5. A realm-wide grand company, if you will. The military might of such an institution would be drawn from every corner of the land, and directed against a threat that no single nation could hope to overcome alone. Yet while the purpose of this hypothetical organization is undisputed, the logistics of its formation have become the source of endless debate. And the longer these discussions continue, the more I sense that impetus towards the unification draining away. Thus I have been campaigning for the creation of what might be considered a trial company. It will be on a much smaller scale than what we hope to eventually achieve, but capable of the same manner of unrestricted operation according to the Scions. 'Tis my hope that the successful utilization of such a force will lend momentum to the lagging deliberations. Also, being primarily military outfit, I mean to assuage fears of its misuse by placing the fledgling organization under the authority of the antecedent. The Scions work tirelessly to protect Eorzea and its people. But as you yourself has witnessed with the refugee revolt, there are limitations to what even we can achieve. With this new company under the Scions' command, however, we will be capable of responding to a wider range of difficulties without straining our resources or overtaxing your formidable talents. The goals of my proposed organization and those of the Scions are ultimately identical, a point conceded by all concerned. But before I can move forward with establishing the precursor to this true border-spanning grand company, 'tis yet necessary that I visit the three leaders and gain their official approval. A tiresome and time-consuming task, which is why I would ask that you accompany me on the journey, and attend to the business of recruiting our inaugural members while I am otherwise engaged with bureaucratic formalities. You're always engaged in bureaucratic formalities. I never see you unless you're not. Thank you. 'Tis reassuring indeed to know that the bringer of light and their discerning eye will be selecting our future allies. Our first destination will be Limsa. Let us rendezvous at Bulwark Hall. I swear I see this boy like once a month because he's otherwise buried in paperwork. If I open the map, I can see it. Is it on the Eorzean continent? Or is it somewhere else? Hang on. Because I know I can see these ones, for example. And I don't know what they are. Just a big fat question mark of otherness. Okay, so that's probably where the Domans came from, based off of the names. Let me... wait. Ooh. only further. Alebathia Spire, Gear, Ibani, Dravania. That's probably going to be Heaven's Word or Stormblood. The 3 great... Does it say continents? I'm very dyslexic, so my apologies. Oh boy. Trying to read these is... Top right. Over here. Is it this? Authored, maybe? Oh boy, I cannot read that. Left. There's this, which I've already seen the Crystal Tower, so I know that can't be it. Oh, here. This? Is this of which you speak? Genshin player here too, since a year ago, just before the Ayaka banner. Yeah, I got started right when it came out. It was something I picked up just as like a one-off, like, oh hey, I'm gonna try this new game that came out because it's free and there's like a lag in my schedule, and oops, it kind of... I kind of became attached. Okay, so it's this. Okay, thanks for that. Good to know. I don't always know where everything is, like I said, new. With the primal threat presently subdued, now is the perfect time to focus on new endeavors. Alfino has long been laying the groundwork for this organization of his, and he looks to you for help to turn his proposal into reality. Pray lend him what aid you can. Although that's worth noting, though, too. How do I get back out to the whole thing? I'm gonna go here, and then I'm gonna... There we go. If the Domans are from, like, here, I'm assuming from Hingashi, they came a long way. And to reach the Thanalan to do so, they probably came to the right rather than along like this, but... Yeah, to come down and then, like, around like this, or maybe they did come like this. Who knows? That is one hell of a journey. Holy crap. Actually, where am I going? I'm going to... I can just go here. There's a warp. Use it. I'm still learning where things are. Sorry. If it is not in a realm reborn, I have no idea where it is. Eventually, too, I gotta remind me to go back to the old hideout, because I think Thancred has something for me. Where am I going? You're going this way. I'll get back to you eventually, Kupo. I'm gonna have to do another fun stream of silly mail shenanigans. Ah, there you are. I'm ready to ascend the bridge and speak with Admiral Blowifsween. While the Admiral and I are finalizing promissory boundaries and signing parchments, I would have you begin the recruitment process in earnest. I have, of course, endeavored to spread word of our organization through various channels, but I believe a personal approach will reach many who may otherwise remain ignorant of the opportunity. As for potential members, 'tis of no matter should they already be pledged to another institution, only that they are willing to lend their strength when the situation demands it, and you needn't range into the countryside. The upper decks alone are populated with sufficient candidates to suit our purpose. Once you are satisfied with your recruiting efforts, meet me at the airship ticket counter and we might prepare for the next leg of our journey. But yeah, long distance indeed. I knew it was on another continent. I just didn't know how far away said continent was. Okay, upper decks. But which way, upper decks? Guess I'll find out when I get there. Yeah, I intend to do more single-player Final Fantasy as well, just to give myself context for 14. Some games I've already played, either on my channel or in my own time. Like Like, I played Final Fantasy III and Final Fantasy XII before starting A Realm Reborn. I didn't record them, but I did play them. Just to give myself further story context. Though I might go back and stream those for people, if anyone's interested. An organization with the freedom to operate within territorial impunity? I must say, your proposal intrigues me. But the Krakens well know that there is time to act and time to watch, and I'm afraid this trial company of yours falls into the latter category. I see, we're just sort of recruiting everyone from everywhere, if we can. Krakens don't want to join, but that's fine. I don't remember them enough anyway. Master Alphino's new organization? Yes, I had heard formation of his trial company was in the offering. 'Tis with regret, however, that I must decline your invitation. As commander of the Yellow Jackets, the protection of Limsa Lominsa must needs receive my full attention. Dang it. Okay, where else? We're going to Aft Castle. Forget there's a side quest unlocked by doing all the extremes. And there's a mount from them. Yeah. I'll have to probably unlock those. It's not missable, is it? I'm almost level 70, so I might be able to do them solo. Otherwise I'll have to form a company of some sort, or do party raids. Anchor Yard, I'm not familiar with this section, I don't go here very often. Well, if it ain't Bren, I'd not forget a venturer brave enough or daft enough to seek the shortcut into Titan's bedchamber. You remember old Riol, don't you? Not really. Formerly of the Company of Heroes, 3 whistles at Bronze Lake. It ain't often I drag my arse out to Limsa for a drink, but I'm right glad I did. How you fare these days? You're looking to put together a new crew, top-tier work? Sounds like a right lark it does. Alright, count me in. The heroes may have gone their separate ways, but I ain't ready to climb into my grave just yet. Oh, we actually got one. Some dude that's like, hey, ain't you the person that, like, scrabbled down a kobold tunnel like a gopher? To fight God? How could I possibly forget you? You're crazy. It's not missable, but you need all the mounts from the extremes to unlock the quests? Huh. That's different. A precursor to a united Eorzean Grand Company. While I do admire the scope of your ambition, my responsibilities here at Naldeek and Vermelis keep me close to the forge. I have not the time to be traipsing hither and yonder across the realm. Should you require my skills as an armorer, however, I might be willing to accept some special commissions. That's a half, yes? Okay, last one, I think. Huh? Who in the bloody hells do you think you're talking to, Drylander? I'm a pirate, not some sodden knight in shining plate. If you're looking for a self-righteous fop, try knocking on the dandy Caravellan's door. Yeah, that's a hardcore no. Okay, seriously, how do people sit like that? My poor ankles. Alas, I am not one of those people that can put my heels to the floor. Okay, where to now? The airship landing. thought you would bring it up since it's very obscure. Yeah, I would have never known about that. Your recruiting went well, I trust? No, I got one dude and someone who might make us armor. I am curious as to how my proposal was received by the rough and ready folk of Limsa. A member of the legendary company of heroes has indicated his interest? Astonishing. I knew enlisting your aid was the right choice. Few could boast the acquaintance of such an elusive character. I too was successful in my task. The Admiral consented to sign all the documents requiring her approval. I can only hope that my visit with the Elder Seedseer proceeds as smoothly. Pray continue on to Gridania at your own pace. I shall wait your arrival at Novika's altar. To Gridania. Oh god, now it's like super zoomed in. There we go. Or out. Zoomed out. I'm not used to seeing it like that. Forget I can zoom out that far. That makes it seem too, if I need... Oh god. Please hold. That jolted me out of my train of thought. What was I saying? Oh, if I need all the mounts that from the extremes, that makes me think I'd probably have to run them multiple times. If it's something that you have to place your bets on. It's gonna be up here in the other area. I should have warped. I just got startled out of my train of thought. Oh, good night, Snoopy Pants. I hope you have a great night too. A great sleep. Audience with the Elder Seedseer is due to commence momentarily. I would be grateful if you would once more seek to the task of recruitment here in Gridania. After you deem the well of potential candidates has run dry, let us rendezvous at the airship ticket counter as before. Oh god, he's gonna send me everywhere again. Let's expand the map. Okay, that one's at the amphitheater. Let's be smart about our warping. Laurentius? Oh gods, can it truly be you? By what fickle fortune must the first face I see upon my release be yours? Could it be that you don't remember me? I really don't. It is I, Laurentius, the man whose crimes you exposed. You're gonna have to be more specific. I was a whaler and a regular patron at Biscarin's. Will you say nothing? Does my presence disgust you so, or do you simply not care to remember our encounter at all? It's the latter. The less said of my past, the better, I suppose. And what of you, adventurer? What business brings you to this part of Gridania? I've helped the Wood Whalers, bring in so many people at this point. Recruiting, huh? And what is your policy on reformed convicts? As the matter stands, the Wood Whalers have not more to do with me. This may just be the second chance I was looking for. Hey, I'm pro-restorative justice, so... go prove yourself. Evidence told you say? I shall leave at once. You shall not regret this, I promise you. I'm a changed man. Okay, let's go up to the Lancers Guild. Then from there, we can just get them all in a row. That do be the case, though. Somebody's a footnote in your story, and you're just an absolute chapter in theirs. 'Tis not often a guild officer such as myself gets recruited, and this company of yours certainly sounds to have some promise, but its duty appears less than focused. I must refuse your invitation until such a time as your organization is more organized. Fair? That's probably similar to an answer I would have given anyways. I'm a busy person, you must prove it is worth my time. You would offer this old man a place at your company of champions? I am both puzzled and honored by your invitation. Now you already remember. You sent me to slay a void sent multiple times. Pray forgive me, but I cannot accept. I've sworn to abide here for whatever scant years remain to me, and bear responsibility for the evils my lady has wrought upon this land. You know, You could repent and help. Just saying, you can do both. Repenting do not require that you stay stationary. Grandfather, you must call it a day. Let us return to the guild and rest ere your tormented back gives up on you for good. I'm terribly sorry, we were just... Oh, Ren, isn't it? It's been some time since our paths crossed of Copperbell Mines. Why, you were barely more than a novice adventurer then, but look how far you've come. Mother Mune tells me 'twas you who felled the fearsome Black Wolf. And now you seek stout-hearted souls to fill the ranks of a new order? Well, your cause is undoubtedly just, and my old companion here would be much relieved to see me in good hands. Yes, I'll do it. It's the very thing I've spent my entire adventuring career working towards. I shall join your company just as soon as I've seen... Is Sildare safely home? Cool. Airship landing. Let's be incredibly lazy. Have I checked the achievement vendor recently? No, I haven't. I'm assuming that's him. You've accomplished enough feats to keep the bard singing for a lifetime. Such an achievement shouldn't go unrecognized. And to that end, I'd like you to have this. Consider it a token of my highest esteem. Your accrued achievement points have earned you an achievement certificate. Certificates may be exchanged for a special award by your choice of speaking with Jonathan. Exchange achievement. So I can get a goblin cat, a fat chocobo head, that thing Joe Cat wears in his videos, and a ribbon? But it doesn't do anything. No weapons. Others? How many do I have? I have 47. Yeah, I know because it gives you, like, certain coins or something next to when you get an achievement. Exchange for one new item of Cascadia Fripery? Guaranteed to help you beat the heat so that you might remain in the kitchen? Seasonal miscellany. Huh? Beardy eye. Okay, so you can get a eyeball. Don't know what that is. Modeled after the ivory glove. Oh, it's a pointer. It's the pointer in the Sprite games. That's funny. A black chocobo chick, so he can fly. Rumors about their being able to fly are completely unfounded. Or are they? Yeah, because in the old games, black chocobos were the only ones that could fly. Minion of Light. The old crystal. Wind-up leaders. Wind-up Odin. Wind-up Warrior of Light. Goblin. Gilgamesh. Nanamo. Furion. Komainu. Black Mage Barding. Speaking of Komainu, am I the only one who kind of low-key hopes that there's a Spectrobes crossover into Kingdom Hearts, seeing as they're both made by Disney? What is this? This is probably... Oh, it's a Chocobo saddle, I think. Yeah. Behemoth. I've seen people running around on that. Yeah, I have 47 points. I can see him up here. I'm just saying when you get the achievement, it usually gives a little number next to it. Acquire within? Why does this look so different? So I can get a bunch of stuff. I don't know what I want to get yet, though. Anyway, back down. And back to the airship landing, which is this way. This basement, that's right. I keep thinking it's going to be up top, but that's in the basement. What news? For my part, the Elder Seedseer was most amenable to our requirements. A former wood whaler and a seasoned adventurer. Our company will not lack for variety, that much is certain. An interesting harvest indeed. Shall we strike to Old Oz whilst the iron is hot? Let us meet at the Royal Promenade and endeavor to conclude our remaining business. Our journey draws to a close. Yeah, I always think it's going to be up top because, you know, that's a reasonable space for airships to land, but based off of previous games, the airship does always come out of the ground. It's like a running theme. So... yeah, I guess it would be in the basement, wouldn't it? Usually by parting some sort of desert sands. Alright. Royal Promenade is in the basement. Well, the Gilded City, where one's fortune defies one's worth. I hope some manner of fortune is with us, and that this final leg proves as successful as the previous two. Might I suggest descending to the lower level before beginning your recruitment efforts? I do not think the Sultana will take kindly to us poaching from her personal guard. I mean, technically I'm also part of her personal guard since I finished Paladin. Let us meet back here at the promenade when our respective tasks are complete. Good hunting. Okay. Go further up the merchant strip, probably. This might sound weird, but before I go too far, I kind of actually want to visit Vesper Bay really quick. Just because I think there's a new mission for us. Yeah, there is. I saw this while grinding Black Mage. I think it might be a new expert dungeon. Ariane, are you back? Whirl of a Time. Okay, it's these. The Lord of the Whirl, slain at thy hand. 'Twas a deed both heroic and historic, a tale to be told down the ages. I fear, however, that the terror of the Indigo Deep did slumber but briefly in the ethereal sea. The Maelstrom hath assured me with unhappy certitude that Leviathan doth stir from the abyss once more. Should this indeed prove to be the case, they may face a most troubling and chilling predicament. The Lord of the Whirl is a voracious being. Not less than a treasure trove of crystals would serve to lure the entity back to our plane of existence. 'Tis folly, then, to believe that the sea-bound beastman could gather such a haul with such an impossible alacrity. The Zahakan, I believe, have been entertaining Asian guests. A threat of unprecedented magnitude now loometh over Limsa. Take the swiftest road to the Maelstrom command and offer thy stalwart service. Thy shining light must needs illuminate the ocean's darkened swell. Ah! You're gonna make me go back and forth, man. Come on. I could also try solo Garuda now if I want. Yeah, I don't know if I want to publicly humiliate myself, but... okay, where is this? It's at the Aft Castle. Yeah, that's the Chocobo head. Lieutenant Nightmare, you are as ever welcome sight for the Maelstrom Command. Our worst fears are realized. The primal Leviathan has returned to threaten our shores. We did not think it possible for the fishbacks to summon their rapacious god without considerably larger period of preparation, but there can be no mistake. Prior to contacting Ariane, we received a report detailing the most complete destruction of a merchant fleet on the open sea. Only one vessel managed to limp into the port, bearing the decidedly unwelcome news of Leviathan's resurgence. Judging by the testimony given by the surviving crew members, the massive waves the entity leveled against the ships dwarfed anything we have ever seen the Primal Command before. And yet there is no story's response. Should he unleash a tidal wave of similarly empowered proportions, Limsa would be scrapped from this island like a barnacle from a hull. It is with such dreaded imaginings in mind that I bid you sail forth to slay the Lord of the Whirl yet again. our strategy remains unchanged. The twin vessel, the Whirl Leader, is already being prepared under the command of the Storm Marshal Slefsfrin. Make your way to the Marby Dry Docks once your own preparations are complete. Seek out Sergeant Stirnlona, and she will see you safely aboard the ship. May the Navigator guide and protect you. This one sends me all over the place for no additional reason. You could have just been like, expert mode unlocked. This way? This way. Just down below. Storm Sergeant Streamlona at your service. The Whirl Leader is loaded and ready. I'll give the signal for the towering vessel to depart as soon as you are aboard. Leviathan was sighted some distance from the coast, so there should be more than enough time to build up ramming speed. The entire crew is willing to lay down their lives to ensure you reach your target, so you must concentrate on skewering the overgrown sea serpent. All you have to do is poke it once, and if you do no damage, you would suggest leaving. Garuda is also the easier one to test solo. I mean, if you want me to. Hang on, Duty Finder. Where is that dang gear? Unrestricted. Anything else? Don't need level sync. Item sync all gear to the duty's minimum requirement. When using an unrestricted party, player and item levels will be synced. When using an unrestricted party, Gil will still gain Spirit Bond when you're using whatever can only be selected when using a preferred party meeting. Silence Echo enabling the setting will prevent echo bonuses from being granted. I think I just need to go into unrestricted, right? Well, I don't have to block the chat out. I want to see too if the cutscene changes at all. Because I know they add new mechanics to this and I don't know what they are yet. Or if Warrior is even the class I want to do it in. I might do some of these Paladin just for the additional bonus in defense. I mean, does this count as damage? Okay, I remember there was like a thing with the feathers and the pillars. Ooh. only I remembered what they were. There's no pillar left. Oh yes, there is. There is. I want to take on all of these. Super, super. Go, go, go. Don't waste any shots. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna make it. Yeah, the other ones, they're still a little too strong. Tim not ready yet. Alright, how do I leave? Excuse me, how does one quit? Leave. Used to be a 4-people party. Yeah, I probably need better gear, which I am working on with this weapon, but still. Yeah, apparently we can go in solo, which I'm not strong enough to do once she summons the other ones. I know when you go into this with 4 people, I know the DPS are supposed to take him to the sides, and then the tank stays like in the middle with that one, but it's just me. Was better than you thought. Yeah, I'm not ready yet, unfortunately. So I will probably in the future, when I do like the coils of Bahamut, I will 1, have to look up how to do them, and 2, I'll probably have to go in with like a party finder in order to get people. Here's hoping that eventually we can start playing across servers. That'd be cool. Because I could play with Twitch chat. Yeah, because I've still got a Realm Reborn gear too, so I don't do very much damage. You're the one who came to Little Alamigo looking for that masked devil. Who knows what might have happened if you didn't? I'd probably be dead, and a whole lot more of my friends besides, who were such fools. Anyway, the disaster really got me to thinking about our homeland and about the outsider who saved us from ourselves. I realized how easily I'd been manipulated, and I vowed to make myself a more worldly man. So here I am. A new company of champions. And you say will take me to all corners of the realm? That sounds exactly like the kind of opportunity I need. And don't worry, I'm not the same stripling you met in Little Alamigo. I've prepared myself to fight the evils that I know is out there. Wilrid? Are you the person whose ass I deemed to kick during the Little Alamigo mission for reasons? I don't trust this man in my company. Anyway. Let's go down to this one. Party Finder or just Heaven's Word gear. So that means I'd have to wait to do them until I got to Heaven's Word. Oh, what a happy coincidence. Do you remember me, perchance? I am Orchin of the Church of Saint Adama Ladama. Thank you once again for your timely rescue. And I must also thank you for preventing that fraudulent priest from preying on Dryborn's less fortunate. A most upsetting business. Are you here with your companion? Thancred, was it? No, I am not. Ah, 'tis new companions you seek, then. Your proposed organization sounds a powerful force for good, but my place is at the church with the children. Nevertheless, I wish you well in this undertaking. And yet one more maiden has a crush upon him. I'm sorry, you wish to recruit me? Is this some new-fashioned manner of propositioning a lady? Well, I'm afraid you're wasting your time. This lady is already spoken for. Good day to you. That is not what I intended. I appreciate the offer, but actually I'm here for diplomatic relations. Yeah, I'll probably end up doing it Party Finder style. Even if we do it, unlevel bound through the Party Finder just to get it done for story. A company that looks to cure the ills of the realm entire? Listen, friend, I can scarce bear the complaints of the next stall over, let alone those conundrums of a neighboring nation. My job keeps me busy as is, he says. You'd be surprised what rumors drift down to Pearl Lane. I know of this glorious new company of yours, and just how far I'd go to avoid getting involved with it. Whispers of the street say your organization is funded by corrupt coin, by syndicate money. If you think you're recruiting for just a just cause, then you're a bigger fool than I took you for. Actually, I'm not really sure where the funding is coming from. I have to ask Alphino about that. Hey Genlins, you want to join our cause? Instead of being a broken paladin, you could come work for us? How fared you? What hidden gems did the streets of Ul'dah offer up to your unrelenting gaze? A single Alamegan youth. Well, you've certainly given us an admirable start, even if our ranks are yet somewhat thin. These troubled years following the calamity, talk of Eorzean salvation must seem akin to grasping at clouds. But there are those who have risen to the challenge nonetheless, and the hope that inspires these people was born in no small part from the victories of you yourself have won. Thank you. I will not squander the precious gift that you have placed into my keeping. These recruits will become the foundation of a new beginning. And yes, we are free to begin. As you have no doubt surmised, the Sultana also graced my trial company with her blessings. Our first wave of recruitment is over. The documents are signed and the finances secured. There is naught to prevent me from taking the next step. Oh, it might be syndicate money, actually. You were concerned by the syndicate's involvement, as was I. Thus was the origin of every coin and their contribution carefully scrutinized and recorded. This organization will not be built on corruption. Naturally, I prefer not to rely on outside sources at all, but even my family's substantial coffers could not sustain a venue of this magnitude. And as for the rumors and doubts surrounding the enterprise, well, such things shall plague us until the company has had a chance to prove its worth. It will not be an easy process, but we will earn people's trusts one success at a time. Speaking of time, we should waste no more of it. Let us return to the Rising Stones and lay the first stone for a united Eorzea. I wasn't aware the outside looked like that. I haven't seen it from this angle. Sultana gets to have an airship to herself on the outside.
Tell me, General, what think you of Alphino's bold endeavor?
I think it is more than bold, Your Grace. His organization would pave the way for a united Eorzea. Well do I understand his impatience, since facing the common threat of the Ultima weapon, our nations have seemed farther apart, not closer together. Considering the many problems we face, should we not be glad that someone else is taking the initiative?
We have all pledged our cooperation, yet the grumbling continues behind closed doors. Ul'dah is not alone in her duplicity. I myself have doubts as to the good this organization will achieve. With the inclusion of the finest soldiers of the 3 grand companies, it promises to be a fearsome military body. But whom will it serve? Even under the watchful gaze of the Scions, it is not unthinkable that such a force could perpetrate a great wrong.
As can any kingdom, my dear.
Does it not concern you that a significant proportion of its financial backing came from the coffers of the Syndicate? That those unprincipled worms might forge this extraordinary gathering of warriors into a private army?
I have trust in the Scions, Your Grace. They have spared us no end of trouble at the hands of the Primals. If they seek reinforcements, I deem it unwise to deny them. As for their finances, full many gave generously. And though our nobles proffered a sizable sum, their coin did not spill from the pockets of Lolorito and his cronies. And what of the presence of our stalwart adventurer friend in this endeavor? I doubt the Warrior of Light would betray our cause.
Yes, there is that, I suppose. Yet I have known people to change. Whether we will or no, the events of the age hurl us this way and that, like a dust devil skipping across the sands. Cannot be done about Telechi?
I have explored all avenues available to us, Your Grace. But as Ul'dah law now stands, we lack the evidence to convict him of any crime. To arrest him on spurious grounds would only play into his hands.
He has all but committed treason, and yet we can do nothing? Then what good our government? What worth the royal house? How deplorable this mockery of justice!
Then maybe it's good you have allies outside the kingdom. Just a thought.
Have faith, Your Grace. It is not over.
I can't tell if they're a couple or not. If he's more like a guardian figure. But yeah, I understand those vibes, hardcore. It's politics be difficult. Like I said, maybe having a force on the outside will benefit everyone. There's room for it to go wrong, yes, but what if it's already going wrong? More father? Okay. Sorry, I don't have all the details in 1.0 dynamics, so sometimes I have to ask. There's like a whole game that's missing. I'd play it if I could, but I cannot. Ah, this is not a journey I soon wish to repeat, but I cannot pause to rest. The culmination of all our efforts is at hand. I must see to the preparations of an inaugural ceremony. Thank you for allowing me to monopolize your services. I am certain the antecedent will be relieved to see you free for other duties. Yeah. Expert mode dungeons. Heretical harassment. Greetings. Alphino tells me all is in place to begin his trial company. The Scions shall certainly be grateful to have the support of such an organization. The inaugural ceremony is set to take place here at the Rising Stones. Tataru is cooperating with Alphino to see that all is in readiness, so I'm afraid the recruits themselves have been left to their own devices for the time being. Quite a number of new faces have arrived at Revenant's Toll as of late. Gee, yeah, we got the new company that we're forming, the Domin immigrants, us. And I wonder if Slafsborn might not find himself overwhelmed. You think? Would you speak with him and see if there is aught he requires? Oh, you know, just town increased 100-fold overnight, no biggie. My grandfather formed the Circle of Knowing in the hopes that, through the accumulation of knowledge, Eorzea might be saved from disaster foretold. A band of champions brought together by a common goal to lead our realm to a better tomorrow. Though our means may differ, I would like to believe I do am proud in undertaking this new endeavor. Would you speak with Lastborn and try to ease his burdens? The town was already fit to burst with adventurers and refugees and the like, and I fear the addition of Alphino's recruits has only added to the chaos. Our recruits, Minfilia. You're a part of this. Oh, you two have stopped being children and chasing each other around. Your bout with Hoary Boulder was more stirring than 100 lines of my most passionate poetry. Mayhap I should arrange a sparring match of my own. I fear Yida's boundless optimism is beginning to affect my better judgment, and your tendency to triumph against the most terrible of foes is certainly not helping matters. I can't wait for Alphino to start his new company. I love making new friends. I wish Yida were not so eager to look to the future when we have so many problems here in the here and now. Okay. Should be just outside, across the street. She was on the throne from a young age because her family died in an accident. Air quotes. Oh no. Political assassination, I assume. What can I do for you? I thought you'd have your hands full helping out with this new arm of the Scions. Barely noticed your recruits arrived. It was barely a trickle compared to the flood of treasure hunters we have passing through here every day. While I appreciate your offer of aid, 'tis more your burden that concerns me. I'm told this trial company will answer directly to the antecedent, so I trust this means less work for you in the long run. Slafborn, the shipment! We couldn't... It's heavy! Gods, woman, what befell? We were bringing a shipment to Revenant's Toll. Provisions, air marked for the frontier effort. But just as we sought to cross over into Mordona, we were set upon by brigands. I believe they might have been heretics. There were many. Too many. We only escaped with our lives by abandoning the supplies. Pray forgive us. There is naught to forgive. Provisions can be replaced, but smart soldiers are hard to find. Take your rest, and I'll have someone along to tend to those wounds. What to do? If heretics are involved, then this is like to be more than a simple case of thievery. Ishgard will need to be informed. Okay, but what is a heretic in this universe, aside from people who, like, worship dragons? Whence did the supplies originate? House for Temps. We collected the provisions from Camp Dragonhead proper. Understood. I shall see that they are appraised of this development. Bren, were you not on good terms with the knights of the House of Hortemps? I'll be sending them a missive immediately, of course, but I would also have you travel there and offer your considerable talents. Yes, I realize I contradict my earlier hopes to lighten your load, but I need someone who can help bring the incident to a satisfactory conclusion. Our favorable relations with Ishgard are far too important to risk half measures. Thank you for your understanding. I'm certain, Lord, I do not know how to pronounce this, Horshafont, We'll be glad of your assistance. Like, I know who it's speaking of, it's just pronouncing it is... I wish more things in this game were spoken. Like, I only learned until 2 streams ago that Lenosha is not pronounced Lenasi. Because it was never spoken until recently. Well, if it isn't my fine friend, would you care for a plate of roast cockerel, some mulled wine? No? I see you've not come to my hall to merely escape the biting cold. I was, in fact, on the verge of opening an urgent missive from Revenant's Toll, and I suspect the timing of your arrival is no coincidence. Oop, nope, shit, stop. That's not what I meant to do. When the cold sets in.
The incident with the new frontier hands? No, you need not elaborate. I have been following their progress with no small amount of interest. Brave men and women all. They do our nation a great service. The existence of a fortified outpost in Mordona will do much to dissuade the Empire from trespassing on Kurthus soil.
It's pronounced Kurthus.
Right glad am I that you have chosen to lend your support to this endeavor. Never let it be said that House Fortom does not acknowledge the efforts of her allies, or her debts.
I've just been saying Korthus this whole time.
'Twas in the spirit of gratitude that I arranged for sundry supplies to be delivered to Revenant's Toll. That the shipment should chance to be waylaid by heretics is poor fortune indeed. Poor fortune, I say, yet not without precedent. If you would know the truth of it, these incorrigible villains grow more organized with each passing day. This new unity of purpose we attribute to their leader, the Lady Iceheart. But though I have devoted significant resources to the task of identifying this woman, we have yet to learn so much as her birth name.
Shiva? If it's anything to do with the primal.
What we do know is that the heretics speak of Iceheart in reverent tones, and would gladly embrace death rather than betray her. Such loyalty is rare indeed, and I fear to imagine what so committed a collective might achieve. The brigands have not yet been so brazen as to risk direct confrontation here in Dragonhead. Some few of their number have, however, been sighted not far to the west of here, and with ever-increasing regularity. A visit to Whitebrim Front may bring you the answers you seek. Will you brave the snows, knowing what implacable foes may lie in wait?
It's not my first time here.
Halone's blessings be upon you.
Halone.
I take no pride in the admission. Many of mine own countrymen are not so well suited as you adventurers to dealing with such foes. Were they dragons? It might be otherwise.
I've been saying Halone. I'm learning so many new ways to pronounce things because they finally have spoken dialogue.
But truly, I could not wish for a finer ally. You have done much for my house in the past, and I have no doubt but that I shall have cause to celebrate your deeds again ere long. Should you learn aught of value, pray return to me forthwith. A warm hearth and a warmer welcome shall be waiting for you.
So many new words that I gotta remember how to pronounce now. Furtive bands of men have been spied in patrols of Whitebrim Front. Mayhaps Lord Drillamont will know more of the brazen heretics we seek. Oh yeah, it's always a journey here in Kurthus. Not Korthus, Kurthus. Gotta learn to repronounce everything, don't we? Pardon me? Must learn how to fly chocobo. You guys really need, like, 2 Aetherites in here. Take my bird up the stairs, because screw that, I'm not walking. Ah, welcome, welcome. You'll be pleased to know that the repairs to Stone Vigil proceed apace. We shall rebuild sure and strong, and the Dravinians might batter themselves senseless against the shield in the west. I would venture, however, that matters of masonry are not what brought you to Whitebrim. On the trail of a band of thieving heretics, you say, by the Fury, but you do seem destined to cross paths with those villains. I must confess, then, 'tis a sad truth that the wilds hereabout have indeed grown thick with their number. They strike swiftly without warning, and are canny enough to evade our most able trackers. But 'tis not merely their newfound organization that confounds us. The heretics themselves seem somehow changed. Oh no. It might actually be a primal. I know not what manner of influence this ice heart wields, but the men we face seem utterly lost in the grip of righteous fervor. 'Tis an unsettling and unnatural zeal. Tempering? Mayhap you would care to question one of their recent victims. As fate would have it, your arrival came moments after the traitor was waylaid in the road. A patrol found the unfortunate fellow lying senseless in the snow and carried him to our infirmary. Assuming he has regained the use of his faculties, the merchant might recall some small detail that could aid you in your task. Oh dear, that smells like primal. Prison's underground, I think. Usually, like... No? Yes? This is storage. You have to go up to go down. I can never tell with this one, because they're kind of layered on top of each other. Hello? There we go. Tell you what happened. Why, yes, of course. I'm quite recovered enough for that. Anything to help catch those cowardly black hearts, excuse me. I was traveling my usual route to right brim front when suddenly a blow sent me reeling. The next thing I knew I was on the ground, and several heretics were rifling through my cargo. Arms, armor, crystals, they were taking everything. Crystals, you say? 'Twas then that one of them noticed my bleary gaze, and stalked over to better acquaint my head with his mace. Before darkness claimed me, however, I distinctly heard the words, "Return to Snowcloak." You're actually very lucky if he'd, like, hit you in a mace when you're already down that you even survived. I dare say this is where they were hauling my goods, but you'll not catch me rushing off in pursuit. They tell me 'twas a miracle I survived at all. It was. And I'll not trust my thick skull to save me a second time. Thick it is indeed. 'Tis a good thing in your case. Okay, where are we going? This way. Like I said, that should have killed you. Either whoever smacked you had the noodliest of limbs, or your skull was actually quite thick. Yeah, I have a new off-global cooldown. Sort of like a DPS class. And I intend to smack people with it as much as possible. Ah, draw your weapon, foul. Wait, I recognize you, adventurer. You've come here seeking heretics. Then we share a common purpose. We were on patrol when we chanced across one of their raiding parties and pursued them here. By rights, we should have had them cornered in this ravine, and yet they're gone, vanished like icy raids. Is there a secret passage, maybe? Snow tunnel? Oh, hello. Where I'm from, the snow get piles so high we make burrows. So, maybe. You glimpsed a woman atop a cliff? Could be Iceheart herself, come to sneer at our folly. And to where did she disappear? The heretics must have discovered a passage through the frozen wall, some hidden tunnel that escaped our notice. We have not the men to risk further investigation. 'Twould be best were we to return to Whiterim Front and lay our suspicions before Lord Villamont. I mean, this looks like it used to maybe be a waterfall, so there might be something on the other side of the ice. And it does have a dungeon symbol, so, you know. Am I in Heaven's Word or a Realm Reborn? I'm in a Realm Reborn. I'm at the very tail end of a Realm Reborn. Well, according to chat anyway. 2/3 done, I believe is what I was told last time. Brennan, it appears I owe you my thanks once again. The surviving knights spared no detail in their report. The men you found near Snowcloak were some of my finest. That they should be bested so handily, I fear we have woefully underestimated the threat of the heretics pose. While I understand you might balk at the notion, I must ask that you put aside your mission and consider the stolen provisions lost to us for now. It would be ill-advised to blunder unprepared into what may very well be the lair of our enemy. Pray return to Dragon's Head and inform Lord Haurchefant of your discoveries. He will want to plan contingencies of his own. As for Iceheart and her fanatics, the freezing heights of Snowcloak will not shield them from our justice for long. Okay, we can just warp. I'm gonna be lazy. What is next to the Shroud? So it makes sense for it to be grassland. Pre-calamity. I'm kind of wondering what caused it to change to ice, though. Aether disruption, maybe? Bahamut's moon didn't knock the whole planet off of its axis, did it? Did we do an Evangelion? Where it's like perma-summer in some places now?
Your return is most timely. Of their own accord, my thoughts had turned to your task and the progress thereof. I confess, my imaginings tended toward the grim and bloody. But you are here now, and I suspect such frivolous wonderings do little justice to the reality of your travails. Tell me, what did you learn of Iceheart?
Silver long hair? Pale lipstick? Hirian?
Indeed.
I think?
And this transpired at Snowcloak?
She's either Ella's or Hirian. I didn't get a close enough look at her ears.
Of all the highlands, that towering wall has borne the worst of the region's brutal shift in climate.
Maybe it's saving us from the brutal shift in climate, seeing as the winds seem to be blowing from that direction.
So inhospitable has Snowcloak become that we have still to survey the area in its entirety. Could its frozen heights conceal the heretics' hideaway? Mayhap a more robust reconnaissance effort is in order. Putting such considerations aside for the moment, we still know far too little of this Iceheart. That she is capable of commanding such a band of fanatics bespeaks natural authority, and no small measure of charisma. As much as I would like to fathom this mystery with you, the situation has grown beyond my personal purview. I am bound by duty to inform the Temple Knights and request that they bring this matter to its conclusion. Given the glowing reports the new commander has garnered thus far, I am certain that they can be relied upon to take appropriate action. Though Iceheart's true identity yet eludes us, you have provided us with a point from which to begin. Sometimes it takes but a single stone to prompt an avalanche. On the matter of the stolen provisions, I have already made arrangements for a second shipment to be sent to Revenant's Toll. I could not well allow such an honorable venture to be undermined by one miserable setback.
Are you sure? Because that's a lot of provisions, and you guys literally live in snowy terrain. Where are you getting stuff? I'm right on the tip of 2.3. And how many patches are in around Reborn? Sorry. 2.5, 2.6. I know just like with Genshin, it doesn't always update exactly on the 10 dot. I have 43 MSQ quests left. Woo! Well, one at a time. Friend, 'tis good to see you return to the toll. How fared you in the frozen waste of Kurthus? It's pronounced Kurthus. I'm sorry. You pronounce things for months one way, and then all of a sudden it flips. House for Temps is to send a second shipment. I must send thanks to Lord Harshaphant for his continued generosity. Yet even as our town grows in prosperity, I fear that it will attract ever greater numbers of those who would do us harm in the name of greed or power. All of us, Alpha News new recruits included, must remain vigilant against such threats. Ooh! New stuff. What? Hello? What's this? Do I eventually get to buy this? If I don't pick one? I mean, it's worse than what I have, but... Hang on. Sorry. Interesting. Lion. This kind of feels Greek. Like, has a Hermes vibe to it. I would like these two things separately, but I don't know how I like them together. I wonder if this eventually makes an outfit. Elegant. Astrum. I wonder if I can buy them later if I don't get them now. I kind of like the Hermes look the best, but also the Noct Circlet kind of makes me think a little bit of Dungeon Meshy. We'll see. Brave new companions. More hats! While you're away in Kurthus, preparations for the inaugural ceremony were all but completed, although Tataru does yet seem somewhat flustered. She's always flustered, don't worry about it. I've taken enough of your time. Why don't you head into the Rising Stones and see if your frantic receptionist could do with a hand? No, you don't understand. She's just like that. These parchments need to be sorted, and these documents, why are they even here? Me every time I get sent the wrong email at work. Oh, I'm sorely tempted to file the lot in my wastepaper basket. Oh, Bryn, you startled me. You wish to lend a hand? Splendid! Would you be a dear and hand these uniforms to the new recruits? They're scattered about Revenant's Toll, and I haven't time to track them all down. The recruits note to don their garb immediately and assemble here in the Rising Stones. You want to report directly back to Alphino if you don't want to miss the ceremony. I wonder if the Scions will ever have matching uniforms. A well-funded organization is a well-dressed organization, I suppose. I know we get new outfits because I've seen trailers. I love you stole his feather thing going on. Ooh. Everywhere. Not in here, though. Must be outside. Those who believe in this company will see no riches are short-sighted fools. The giving of oneself is an investment in the future. Thus did I sign my name to the cause. These uniforms were a splendid idea. Once our organization has made a name for itself, there shall be wealth aplenty in selling replica costumes to the adoring masses. Make sure there's something that signifies them as a replica, so people don't impersonate us. I thought it best to mimic my fellows here, but I admit that I have no idea what we're supposed to be doing. Ah, our new uniforms. I'm reminded of my induction into the Wood Whalers. The scarlet garb marks me as a proud member of the Maelstrom, and a hardy defender of Limsa Lominsa, yet in truth I stand for the betterment of the realm, and though this new company is a fine opportunity to contribute to the grander scale. Now I'm striking a shade of blue. Put alongside my Maelstrom uniform, my wardrobe will certainly not lack for color. Wait, are you gonna wear them both at the same time? Wear all the uniforms. Won't be able to put my arms down if I do that. I don't believe we've met. I'm Ilberd, and I would have the honor of leading my fellow recruits as captain. Much did I lose to the calamity, and I look forward to aiding others in rebuilding their lives. The uniforms are a shrewd decision. There's no easier method of creating a common bond among what is essentially a band of strangers. I mean, technically that's true of any job when you first start. Nightmare? Gods, I did not expect to meet you strolling about town. The tales of your primal battles were what inspired me to come to Revenant's Toll. It is an honor to receive a uniform from your hands. I shall wear it with pride. Little Amigo could learn much from Revenant's Toll. That this town can be so alive in the midst of such desolation. I've never worn aught quite so voluminous. Well, I'm sure I'll grow accustomed to the extra cloth in time. I mean, you're wearing metal now. Cloth can't be too bad. Oop, up top. Isildur has last retired from the adventurer's life, though I shall miss his wisdom and irrepressible spirit. I'm excited to forge my own path forwards. Ah yes, the uniform, thank you. Truth be told, the thought of pledging myself to such a lofty organization is somewhat intimidating. I missed one over here? What's up top? Hello there, looking for me, was ya? I suggest giving a whistle, but I'm not sure I'd hear it amongst all the bustle. Oh, proper uniforms and all. This thing will cut off the blood to my head. Not to worry though, I'm sure she'll be fine after making a few adjustments. Not used to wearing anything with a button up, huh? I can buy it in the cash shop? You mean like with actual money? Ah, Bren? Tataru mentioned you were handing out the new uniforms. I assume you've met the rest of the recruits? Some few answered the call to arms I put forth through the established grand companies and such. We are not yet an army, but there is much a small core of elite workers can achieve. Did I mention I thought of a name for the company? 'Tis my hope that it shall soon be known across the breadth of Eorzea. The moment of truth draws near. Once the last of our recruits have gathered, I shall make the official announcement.
Comrades, your presence here this day signifies the momentous choice that each of you has made.
I feel like this is just the Maelstrom's outfit in blue.
With your strength now pledged to the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, you are beholden to no single nation. You stand as the vanguard for a united Eorzea. From this moment forth, I declare you Crystal Braves. Let us mend this fractured realm and face our enemies as one. Whether it be the Beastmen and their primals, or the conflict in Carteneau, it is plain that the nations of Eorzea cannot solve the problems which plague the realm. Thus does it fall to some few heroic souls to succeed where they have failed. Come, take your place at the Scion's side as guardians of Eorzea, and together we shall fight for the freedom of all!
Yeah, I guess they are all the same outfit, just a different color. Wood Whalers is yellow and... No, wait. Was it Oldaz that's yellow or the Wood Whalers that was yellow? Oh god. Memory is failing me. Forget what color Oldaz was. I'm not in that grand company.
A rousing speech, Alphino. Or should I say, Crystal Brave Commander Leveilleur?
Please, antecedent. The title is honorary. I shall not be leading the troops into battle, as it were.
Okay, Gray.
We are of the same purpose. Let us join hands and do what must be done to save this land.
The Scions stand ready.
Well, if it's gray, that probably is why I don't remember it, because it technically doesn't really have a color. It's a shade.
I'm eager to see what the Crystal Braves might accomplish. This shall prove an interesting time indeed for the Scions. Yes, I'm listening. So our worst fears are confirmed. The entire Isle. Such power defies comprehension.
Wait, did they sink Baldesion like Atlantis?
Truly? Kryl is alive? Thank the 12. I see. Pray, inform me if her condition changes. Yes, I shall pass on your words to Urianger.
I do know who she is from the trailer. She is the Lalafell Pictomancer, am I right?
My thanks. I shall contact you anon. When I learned of the loss of the Isle of Val, I dared not hope that my friend had survived. Yet, by some miracle, it would seem she has. She still to regain consciousness, it is true, but better that than death. Putting this happy news to one side, we must now endeavor to make sense of the readings taken by the survey party. It appears the etheric disturbance which accompanied the Isle's destruction is of a magnitude alarmingly close to that of Ultima. Could the Ascians be responsible for this devastation as well? I wonder. Have you heard aught from the Mother Crystal since the battle with the Garleans?
No. In fact, I think something might be wrong. I've been worrying about that for a while now.
Then she speaks to neither one of us. Heidelin's silence portends naught but ill, I fear. Louisoix, I pray you yet watch over us.
Okay, more. These are probably for the different classes. I'll try them on just to see what they look like, but... Sorry. Unintentional panty shot. Yeah, this is like the ninja one. So it is not only the white mage that has to deal with mage gear dyed white. This one's not bad. And what are you for again? Thaumaturge, black mage, red mage. I could see for blue mage. Has that Alice in Wonderland vibe to it. I'll go with this one. Very good. See to the provisions are prepared for transport. Let us hope this shipment is spared the fate of the last. Well, maybe send it with an escort this time. The winds are uncommonly fierce this day. Yeah, that's the castle I can't get to. What do you contain within that's maybe creating the cold? Is it creating the cold? Oh, that's where the Pope is. Never mind. Yeah, I know it's Ishgard, it's just... I can't actually reach Ishgard. I can see it on the map, but it won't let me in. Oh. Since when has a Pope in a Final Fantasy game ever been not manipulated by the Dark Forces? Does the Pope even know the Scions are manipulating them? Or watching them? I don't know. Because only a select few can see them. Traitor in the midst. Try as I might, I cannot shake a creeping sense of dark foreboding, but it avails us not to fret about the unknown. We must concentrate instead on the problems of the present. The primals have been relatively quiet as of late. Speak for yourself, I got my butt kicked in. And the beast tribes who summon them are under constant surveillance by the Grand Companies and Urianger. Should any suspicious activities be afoot, you may be certain that we will hear of it. And until such a time as a permanent solution to the primal problem has been found, we can do little but wait and observe. As for the Scions, Urianger is wholly dedicated to finding the means by which we may defeat the Dark Beings. Let us pray for good tidings on that front. But all of this you know already. Let us speak then of more current matters, in particular the state of the Crystal Braves. Alphino did well to found the organization, but ensuring its smooth operation is another matter entirely. Though I doubt not that he is doing his best, I felt that a helping hand or two would not go astray. To this end I offered to send one of the Archons to assist him, but he declined. You know how he can be, independent to a fault, and singularly loath to accept help. Yeah, me too. Save, of course, when that help comes from you. Alphino has entrusted countless matters of import to your care in the past, and I believe he would not hesitate to do so again, were you to offer. I should be most grateful if you would go to him, and support him in whatever manner you are able. Because I know that thing happened with Minophilia when he was talking to her, and Tataru couldn't see him. So I'm guessing most of the knights in the room can't see it, but I'm not sure if the Pope can or not. Alphino refused the Archon's help, but I believe he would welcome yours. I should be most grateful that you will place yourself at his disposal. Okay, he's just outside the room. I can see him glowing on the map. Condemn refugees to death. Wait a minute, that's not right. Hello? What? Yido, what the hell? Did I miss something? In which event, we must guide them to Little Alamigo, else we condemn them to certain death. Yido, what did I just tell you? How? What? Did I stumble in between you two? Oh, from invoices to petitions. It's a war, Bren. The desk is my front line, and I fear I have been overrun. Me on a Monday. Yes, 'twould be foolish to sacrifice nutrition for flavor. If Yagirian are more skilled culinarians would work closely together, I dare say they could create extraordinary dishes sure to satisfy Eorzean and Domin alike. Oh, the Dormans aren't used to our food. In traditional Dorman cuisine, we strive to perfect balance, not only in flavor and texture, but also of nutrition. For a meal to be truly satisfying, it must nourish the body as well as delight the senses. That's the thing, too. If we're getting provisions from Kurthus, there's probably a lot of lamb and a lot of dairy. A dazzling floral arrangement, each blossom a peerless beauty in her own right, the blessing and the burden of an overactive imagination, of which people from Doma probably are not accustomed to. What is it? Do be concise, I'm rather busy. You're standing in the middle of the... Huh? You would lend a hand, you say? I see. Well, now that you mention it, there is a matter that wants for attention. Given its sensitive nature, I was hesitant to entrust it to my braves, but the demand upon my time assured that I had little choice. Which is not to say that my men want for labor. Though we are newly formed, there is already a great demand for our services, and we are hard-pressed to answer all petitions, but I digress. The fact is, I would sooner attend to this particular matter myself, but my presence is required elsewhere. That being the case, I have entrusted its resolution to my second-in-command, Captain Ilberd. Tell him that I sent you, and he will furnish you with the particulars. My thanks in advance. You're just standing in the middle of the room, dude. Busy with what? I gave Ilberd the chance on the matter. Tell him I sent you, yada yada, okay. Oh, you weren't here before. Hello.
Hail to you, Scion. How might we serve you?
Alphino sent me to do chores.
Commander Leveilleur bade you serve us? These are welcome tidings indeed. Given the sensitive nature of the task, I could not rely on one of my own.
He says in the middle of hallway. Must elaborate.
That which I'm about to tell you, I tell you in the strictest confidence.
In this big, echoey room.
Some days ago, we received certain documents from an anonymous source. They notified us of the presence of a Garlean agent within the ranks of one of the grand companies. Following some discreet inquiries, we identified a suspect among the Immortal Flames, whom we detained for questioning. Alas, the man was not our agent. He was but one of many men in the agent's employ. We pressed the traitor for a name, but he had none to give. He claims never to have met his master, whom he knows only as the Ivy. He was, however, certain that this Ivy had coiled itself around every part of the Immortal Flames. It would seem our quarry joined the company some time ago, and gradually recruited others to his cause. These conspirators are the vines by which he learns our secrets, all without exposing himself.
We have a rat.
It won't be easy to identify the Ivy amidst this tangled mass of subterfuge, but we have a tendril in our hands, and we shall follow it all the way to the gnarled root. Now, much as I would prefer to proceed with due discretion, circumstances demand that this matter be settled post-haste. Garlemald's War of Succession nears its end, and it is feared that the Empire will soon resume its march on Eorzea. When it does, we can ill afford to have traitors in our midst. The Ivy must be rooted out now. We must begin by apprising General Reborn of our findings. I would ask that you accompany me to the Hall of Flames, and remain on hand to see that things go smoothly. Assuming the Ivy's tendrils are as widespread as we believe, he will be aware that an investigation is underway, and if that is the case, he may well move against us. We must be prepared for anything, while taking care not to betray our purposes by seeming prepared. A simple enough task for a one-woman army like you.
Espionage and my own comrades. Must begin by appraising General Raban. Pray me be at the Hall of Flames. Okay. And away we go. Given how close I am to some of the endings too, in one of my future streams, I might do more side quest stuff like the Moogle Mail.
Well, well. What What brings you here, my friend?
I have a rat problem.
She is here at my behest. Greetings, Reborn. It has been a while.
Hilbert, you old scoundrel. When they told me you'd be visiting, I scarce believed my ears. But look at you! The honored captain of the Crystal Bloody Braves. Who'd have imagined, eh?
Not many, but fewer still would have imagined your destiny lay in politics, old friend.
It kinda still does. I mean...
Aye. We've both come far, have we not?
Not to interrupt,
Lest you
but...
wonder, Hilbert and I go back a long way.
I can tell.
We've been friends and rivals since we were lads. The last time we saw each other, Alamigo had just fallen, so you can guess how many summers it's been. And in all that time, not a word from the fool.
Ah, well, my dealings tended toward the modest and mundane, unlike some I could mention.
I've never seen him smile this much.
As I hear it, no sooner did you reach Thanaland than the brass blades clapped you in irons and dragged you off to die on the blood sands. Being a stubborn sort, you won 1,000 matches and earned yourself a place in the people's hearts while you were about it. Then, with your mountain of prize money, you bought the Colosseum and secured a seat on the Syndicate. Those balls, brother! Rags to riches does not do it justice. You're a hero to the common man.
Ha! Spare me. I am no hero. If anyone is worthy of that title, it's our friend here. Next to her, I'm little more than a glorified butcher. But you, Hilbert, you sell yourself short. By all accounts, you are an adventurer of some standing.
I like to think that I did my part for the greater good. But if you're no hero, then I'm no adventurer, not in this company. Anyway. I have tidings.
So there has been progress. I've let it be known that this meeting is a reunion between old friends. None will give your visit a second thought. To convene elsewhere would only attract attention. Let us speak here, in plain view of all.
Once again, what is privacy?
So it is we who have been compromised. Teleji Adeleji's machinations have shaken Ul'dah to her foundations. In such uncertain times, a man's loyalty may be bought for a fistful of gil.
Wait, is there something about the fog?
But if this snake has truly been in our midst for as long as you say, we must needs consider a far graver possibility. Conspiracy. Could it be that the Monetarists have been in league with the Empire from the first? Very well. I will have my most trusted men investigate the matter. Continue your inquiries in the meantime.
I just figured it had something to do with a weather pattern, sort of like how it can be a high pollen day in the Shroud.
It does me well to see you again, old friend. When next we meet, let it be over a flagon of ale.
I look forward to it. Let us reminisce of bygone days, and drink to the future of our homeland.
I guess my brain didn't think too much of it with that fountain in the background. Seeing as in real life they create mist, depending on how humid it is.
Flame General. You wear the mantle well, old friend. I must work hard if I'm to keep up. Well, it would seem your services were not required after all. I dare say we have Roban's prudence to thank for that. Still, I was glad of your presence. My thanks, Scion.
You know, Vassians don't need bodies. Maybe they just sort of hang around in the background, spying on us. Always. Constantly. Seriously, they need a hobby. Okay, gloves. I'll just go for the one. I'll go for a set at this point. Ilbert is eager to continue his investigation into Garlean spy known as the Ivy. Our hunt for the Ivy begins in earnest, Scion. Suffice it to say, we must tread warily, but one misstep may cost us our lives. Our business here is concluded for the time being. Let's return to the Rising Stones and report to Commander Levieur. It could also be him. Like, I'm not ruling that out as a possibility. Could be me too. What, like I'm possessed? We are returned from Ul'dah, Commander. And not a moment too soon. Something has happened. Trouble? You recall that the Fourth was tasked with reconnoitering with the rendezvous and used the Ivy's minions in its Imperial context. Soon after you left, we received word that the unit was ambushed en route to its destination. God damn it. According to the report, one of ours has been taken captive. The Garleans are not wont to treat their foreman with dignity, and I grave fears for her safety. We must dispatch a rescue party at once. Recall those braves who are afield. Begging your pardons, Commander, but we have not the time. I'm afraid I must ask for your aid once more, Scion. An ill-prepared rescue party will only serve to provide the Garleans with more captives, yet time is of the essence. Simply put, you are the best chance we have. Yes, getting me out of the stronghold again. Captain Ilbert has the right of it. I trust you are willing, but of course you are. Now, Elaine of the Fourth lies in wait at the Tangle, near the entrance to the Castrum Sentry. Seek her out, and she will appraise you of the situation. Still with the paperwork, huh? Okay. Some other people have gone out, too. Where is this? It's still in Mordona. I told you to guard that transport. Attacked once already. Let's reinforce the second one. Just a thought. Wait, here. Hang in there, Resh. We'll free you yet. You would aid us on the rescue mission. We're in your debt, Warrior Blight. Now the time is against us, so allow me to brief you on the situation. The Garleans fell upon us without warning, wounding poor Resh and hauling her away to the castrum yonder. Outnumbered as we were, it was all we could do to flee and regroup. Even as we speak, the Garleans may be interrogating Resh, or worse. With her hurt, I fear that she will... Hurts? Why is it plural? With her hurt, I fear that she will not long survive their attentions. We must rescue her without delay. Our order may yet be in its infancy, but the bond that binds us is strong as mithril. None of us will stand by while a comrade suffers. We, the remnants of the Fourth, will infiltrate Castrum Sentry. Please help us find Resh before it is too late. Okay. straight shot. It's fun flying, isn't it? It's definitely better than walking, that's for sure, especially when you need to go across the map for numerous missions. Ooh. Of course you're guarded. Of course. Damn it. I killed him too quickly. It's probably like a critical hit. Left her out by the rock, huh? When you have a whole fortress you could be using. Oh, where am I? No offense, but these outfits are not conducive to stealth work. They stand out a lot. Thank the gods we found you. And thank you, Warrior of Light. Now to quit this accursed place. Resh cannot move with these wounds. She will need to be carried out. I believe a diversion is in order. Might we trouble you to provide one? Given your reputation, I suspect the Garleans will only be too happy to grant you their undivided attention. If you were to create a commotion with the castrum, we'd be able to steal away unnoticed. Let us speak again once we are safely outside these walls. I'm assuming beat people up in the designated locations is what they're asking? Yeah. Oh no, there's two more. Shoot. Anything else? Yeah, you. Let's get you all grouped up in one go. Come here. I'm on a time limit, so let's make this snappy. I don't have much stream time left, I'm afraid. Anything else around me, or are we good? Oh, nope. I heard him pop in. Okay, this does raise it. Good to know. Now you. Okay, now what? This way. Taking us to see. I'm leaving soon. Yeah, unfortunately, I only have so much time to stream. So this is probably the last mission for the night. I have awaited your return most anxiously, my friend. You have done us a great service indeed. Thanks to your aid, our comrade Resh is safe, and we suffered no further casualties. Words cannot well express my gratitude. All that is left is to report the mission's success to the Commander Levalure. I shall go ahead to the Rising Stones. Okay, And she's back at the stones, so that is probably a good stopping point for me. So I am going to return to Limsa and do the huge. And we shall continue this quest at a later date. Yeah, sometimes I lose track of time while streaming. Since I live with family and family is coming home. So let us, Aft Castle, think about 3 to 5 more streams of MSQ until we're finished. Alright, not much longer then. Although, like I said, I will take a quick detour to finish Moogle Mail, because I'm having fun with that quest. It's very silly. And in the meantime, you know, in the background, I'll still be grinding for the yokai stuff, as well as my Zodiac weapon, relic weapon, that I have on my back. So for now, this is where we are going to call it. Sorry, it's sort of in the middle of the quest. I didn't pay enough attention to time. And I got the message that they're coming home, so this is where I'm going to have to call it for now. But thank you so much to everyone who has joined. I intend to try and get a Realm Reborn done prior to the Dawn Trial patch that comes with the graphics update. So I'm trying to condense them so that when I start Heaven's Word, it'll be on the new patch, the new graphics flare, which, by the way, Genshin is going to be getting one of those too, I've heard. I don't know how big it's going to be. Genshin has technically had a graphics patch before. They've had little ones here and there, but I know that's getting an update as well. And I also have those to record in the meantime too. So busy schedule, but we're making really decent progress. So thank you so much to everyone who has joined, and I hope to see you all in future streams. Bye-bye!